Yeah. Welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of Format Podcast Live. Supposed to be Sunday morning edition, but your boy overslept to keep it a buck.
Right. We out here late.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. So just a quick explanation. So obviously last night we get on and we're doing what's supposed to be a quick instant reaction to the Buckeyes and Longhorns game. And it went all off the rails. We got into a protracted hip hop discussion, which was great, by the way. That was a lot of fun. Things happen here on the Format Podcast sometimes, but that's where we ended up. And then after we got off of that, finished watching the LSU game. Then I go work out and I end up getting to sleep like almost 2:00 in the morning. So I overslept, which is nobody's fault but my own. I should have set an alarm, so I apologize. Wake up this morning and Baltimore Bruce hits me like, "Is there a show today?" And I'm like, "No." Right. I'm like, "No." And he's like, "What? Sunday?" I was like, "Oh, man." I was like, "Okay, we got to get a show." So here we are. Apologies for the off time that we're not used to. Ed Frank, what's going on, brother? And what's up, Mr. Realist? How you doing? Yes, you are here early. Be Ready Sports Podcast. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, Sneed, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
I'm excellent, man. Good to be here. Even though we are sort of late, it's all good.
Yeah.
We still got a quality show for you guys. We got good topics, and we're gonna cook.
Yes, we are gonna cook. So, before we get to that, we're gonna do the spiel. Then we're gonna shout out the channel members. Then we're gonna get rocking and rolling. All right, you know what time it is. If you're watching here on YouTube, make sure you go ahead, click that subscribe, that like, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast. We should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us a like, leave us a 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. Make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, make a note of it. The Format Podcast is live Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern. And finally, if you're really and truly enjoying the content we're delivering you, make sure you hit that join button. There's going to be exclusive content here just for you. You. There you go. You. I don't know how he does that.
This goes out to you. This goes out to you.
Wow. There we go. See, you don't start. Don't start. That's hip hop. Don't start. Oh my gosh. Yo, Edward sent me some track. I guess it was Kanye featuring Andre 3000 earlier today. I was like,
old track or new track?
I don't know. It's called, and we're not gonna go crazy here. It's called Life of the Party.
Look, I'll leave it to you like this, bro. We could probably end the discussion like this. The guys that used to be great aren't even the same no more. Like their heyday is over. So like, just because they're still making music doesn't mean it's gonna be hot.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, let's do a shout out to the channel members. Coach T, aka Laker Nation, host of the Be Ready Sportscast. What's going on, brother? Make sure if you're all not subscribed to that, you go ahead and get over there and subscribe to that after this one's over. He's doing a great job showing love to the new generation coming up, pursuing their dreams of athletic and academic excellence. So shout out my main man, Laker Nation. I appreciate you being here, brother. Shout out to Chief Sid Bubba. Shout out to the boys from Annapolis, Anchors Away. Appreciate you. Shout out to It's Not That Serious was good. It's Not That Serious. And of course, Baltimore Bruce, who let me realize that
he was your alarm.
I totally forgot to do a show this morning. So here we are this afternoon. So we're going to deliver a good one for you. So shout out to the channel members. Really appreciate y'all. And anybody else who's enjoying the show, man, join the channel. All right. So let's get right to it. We got some really good topics, as you can see from the rundown. We got a couple of quick hits. We got Dawn Staley talking some nonsense, in my estimation, in regards to the New York Knicks job, Derrick Henry, and kind of where he is now in his where he kind of ranks in terms of the all-time great running backs. LeBron James with more foolishness. I keep telling you, the longer we wait, more and more comes out, and well, I keep being proven right. And finally, the New York Giants QB room. So got some good stuff here. Sneed, you got a quick hit for me, man?
Quick hits. So the NFL isn't having games this week, like
Thursday,
this weekend. So we got to wait till
right?
Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I actually kind of like it. I like having the free week. There's guys obviously working through like camp injuries and whatever
Mm-hmm.
else. There's probably organization administrative things that are going on with the teams. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I just want to say the college football weekend was phenomenal.
Man, it's not over yet.
Right. The upset yesterday with
Yeah,
Bama and Florida State,
yeah.
and then today obviously there's still a couple of games which
Mm-hmm.
the first one start.
I thought that Virginia Tech might have started.
Okay, so if
And then
you
Notre
got that
Dame
game going on and then the big one tonight with Notre Dame. So I don't mind that the NFL took the week off and
Mm-hmm.
extended, to start later because we got this great weekend of college football. It was fantastic. They had good
Mm-hmm.
matchups. We had great games. And in ideal fashion, rocking the scarlet today, the red hoodie, you know what I'm saying? Represent for my Buckeyes, who had the big win yesterday, who beat the number 1 ranked Texas Longhorns. So it's been good so far to me. Love the college football season.
No doubt, no doubt. And I'm gonna love it even more tonight. So yeah. But that was actually the quick hit I was gonna go to was when we talked briefly about Florida State pulling that big upset against Alabama last night. I don't think anyone expected that, but it's really weird, right? Because Florida State, obviously being one of the 3 banner schools for college football in the state of Florida, obviously you've got Florida, you've got Miami, the U, and Florida State. Those are the big boys, and then a little below that you have a little below that you have what is this, USF, UCF,
Yeah.
what is it, FIA, I can't remember.
Florida International.
Florida International,
Yeah,
right? Florida International. So FIU, there we go. So you've got some like 3 tiers of programs, I guess, in the state. But excuse me, the point is Florida State always have athletes, right? Always has athletes. We can't forget that we're only 2 years removed from Florida State being 13-0, winning the ACC championship, getting jerked from appearing in the playoffs, and then of course losing in terrible fashion in the bowl game to Georgia, right? But still, all of a sudden, because they had a terrible year last year, people are acting like Florida State's been crap for a long time, and who could have believed that they would have beat Alabama? And it's like, what? This is the SEC rhetoric again, right? And don't get me wrong, Alabama has been pretty much the banner program in the country for the last 15 years, right? 6 fields in that stretch, so no doubt about it. But we got to stop acting like Florida State doesn't always have elite athletes. And then if you really follow college football, you can also look and see during this past offseason, former UCF and Auburn head coach Gus Malzahn moved over to Florida State. He's now the offensive coordinator. This guy is he's like the Kyle Shanahan of college football in terms of being a run game play designer.
Mm-hmm.
So everywhere he goes, the run game immediately, rises. And so we saw Florida State play a heck of a game, run the ball well. We saw Castellanos make big throws and big runs and give Alabama a lot of difficulty and beat them. And everyone's acting like, oh my gosh, how could this possibly have happened? What? Really?
Maybe
is beating Alabama. This is Florida State.
Bruce, maybe people haven't paid attention to the reignition of the Florida State program because there was a while where they were very quiet. They didn't have the prominent success within college football. So maybe they're just stuck in the past, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes people are overlooking certain schools and they're getting outshined. Like Florida State's, they're in think about the conferences, right, Bruce? Do you think that has something to do with it? SEC always kind of being
yes, absolutely
in the forefront of college football, and maybe not even rightfully so anymore.
Right.
Maybe they're still hanging on to that legacy perspective.
So, and I'm not gonna go too deep into this. I am 1,000% anti-SEC, and as a journalist, that's not cool, right? You're supposed to be objective. But the reason why is I'm so sick of the narrative with these guys over all these years. Now, being fair, in the last 20 years, 5 different programs in that conference have won championships. Like, you can't poo-poo that, right? That's legit. They're winning that on the field. However, we saw all these variations of the championship structure, right? Whether it was the BCS and the 14 playoff and now the 12-team playoff. And even before the BCS, it was just, I guess the final two in the rankings, or they choose or whatever, right? And so it was frustrating me to no end that what they were doing, because the SEC was, kind of the power broker in college football. If you notice, you can go back and look at this. What they always do, they rank these SEC teams higher so that when they beat each other, it doesn't hurt them in the rankings, right? And we can go back and we can look at that years, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I think don't get me wrong, they had a lot of really good teams, but they did some manipulation of how these SEC teams were getting there, right? I mean, we saw, what was it? We saw Georgia, Alabama championship games and whatnot. Like, come on, man.
All the time.
Yeah. So, but so that's the reason why I'm anti-SEC, and I'm loving it. And also because, I know, everybody knows the SEC was cheating for years in terms of buying up all the players, right? And now all of a sudden that the money can be spread around legally, that dominance kind of has faded,
right? They don't,
right?
Yeah, they didn't have the complete dominance in that aspect. But that was always going to happen. We see it all the time. Anytime there's a shift in the rules, right? When the game changes and the playing field gets more level, you get more dispersion of success.
Yes.
And that impacts the dominant team or the dominant organization.
Right.
Because you're basically telling them you're not allowed to dominate anymore. We just changed the rules to the game.
Right.
So now you have to be good at what you do. You can't just benefit because of something that gave you the edge anymore.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that. Like, now don't get me wrong, if the SEC, if Georgia or Texas or whoever wins this year, cool. But I like the fact that it's spread out now, and you will see a little more variance in who's winning these championships. And you know what? I'm not necessarily a Big Ten guy either, but I'm good with the Big Ten winning the last two championships. I'm okay with that. And I'm not a Penn State guy, but even if Penn State should do the unthinkable and win this year, hey, fantastic. Great. Shut up, SEC. Great. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen.
Notre Dame, if Notre Dame was to win a national championship, that's like the ultimate thing, because think about it. They're not in a conference.
That's right.
So that's like,
did it the hard
that
way.
would be a seismic shift to the perspective of like, who needs to be in a conference?
Well, I'll tell you, here's the other problem. And Steve, I'm sure he's not here right now, but he could attest to this. If Notre Dame should pull it off and win a title, then you know what you're going to hear? That's not fair. Notre Dame should be in a conference. Why don't they have to join a conference? They're just picking their schedule. They don't play anybody, which, we can do that, but we know it's a lie.
But you got to play in the playoff, though.
Yeah, but even if you look at the regular season schedule, like, it's not easy in terms of Notre Dame, right? Because you still have to make the schedule. You have to make the schedule competitive enough that it will be valued by the selection committee, et cetera, even back when they're doing the computers and all that. So it's not like you can just load up a bunch of cupcakes, right? That's not how that works. And so Notre Dame plays. I mean,
there's notoriety to a game against the Irish, though, Bruce.
Say again?
There's notoriety to playing against the Irish.
So, like, there's
teams that would like to play against Notre Dame each year.
Well, if
I don't see Ohio State turning down an Irish offer.
No, but look at this. every Power Four conference wants Notre Dame.
Right.
So clearly there's some value.
Somebody would love to play every
Notre
year.
Dame talk, stop it. And for those complaining about Notre Dame being independent, I know this was supposed to be a quick hit. I'm going to wrap it up right here. For those complaining about Notre Dame being independent and not having to play in a conference, well, guess what? We could have been in a conference. The Big Ten refused us on multiple occasions. They're the reason we're independent. And if you really want to get technical, Michigan is the reason Notre Dame is independent.
Was it the terms of entry?
So at the very beginning,
it had to do with the Big Ten network, wasn't it?
Well, I think part of that was I'm sure they wanted Notre Dame to give up the NBC contract.
Yeah.
Notre Dame wasn't going to do that. But if you go all the way back, Fielding Yost back in I think the 20s or the 30s, with Michigan, he was anti-Catholic bias. And so he was like, nope, we don't want him here. Okay, cool. And then I think Notre Dame attempted to join the Big Ten in the 50s and the 60s, possibly the 70s. But it's like, okay, cool. That's fine. You got it. So,
wow, this is deep. It goes back a long way.
It goes back a long way.
Wow,
so people need to shut the hell up and stop complaining about Notre Dame not being in a conference, because they could have been but it's other people's decision that they're not.
Oh, Bruce, that's the first time I heard you say something like that, bro. Yeah, this gets you amped up.
I'm trying to tell you, Sneed, go Irish.
Yo.
Bruce, it's funny that you say Notre Dame is the Dallas Cowboys of college football. I can kind of see the analogy, but let me tell you where you're off, right? The reason why you're off, Bruce, is because the Cowboys have not even been to a conference title game since 1995. Notre Dame has played for, they've been in the playoffs 3 times, and they've played for 2 national championships since 2013.
Yeah, Notre Dame, they're hot. Their last decade has had success.
It's not quite the same argument, but I get your analogy. Oh no, you have to blame Michigan, Coach T.
You could pick any rabid fan base and say this team is like the Cowboys, right?
Right. I think his analogy is because Notre Dame is popular, polarizing, and they haven't won in a long time, but they kind of have that aura about them.
But they're competing. But they're competing in the big platform, like in the big moment. Like they're there. They've been in the run for a national championship a couple of times.
That's right. Yo, Coach T, you clearly didn't listen to what I just said. You know what? We good. We gonna move on. You trying to push my buttons? I see. That's a cowardly Trojan trying to push an Irish button. That's cool.
There we go with the USC. Come on.
Yeah, Coach no, T. but real talk. USC is trying to duck out of the Notre Dame rivalry game because they feel like they have too many tough games and too much travel. Really? Notre Dame's been traveling back and forth across the country on their schedule, bro. That every year for 100 years.
Isn't that game typically when the kids ain't even at school? They're out for the holiday.
So how it works is because USC is afraid to play in the cold. How that works is when they play in South Bend, they play in October. When we play in LA, we play at the end of the year.
Cool.
So that's what it is.
Nothing wrong with that. That's great. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's what it is. But we could do this all day, man. We could do this all day, and I could dismantle the BS. But let's go ahead and let's get it popping, man. Let's get it popping with the first topic. Dawn Staley. This was Steve. Sneed, you want to start this, man?
Yeah, man.
I know you brought this up when we talked about topics.
Yeah. So the Dawn Staley thing. This goes back to the Knicks coaching search. The origins of like Dawn Staley possibly being taken as a candidate for replacing a released Tom Thibodeau from the Knicks.
Absurd.
For the context here, Tom Thibodeau gets the Knicks to Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
First time in 25 years
the Knicks have had in a long time. Right? Like we're talking going back to like the Patrick Ewing days.
Yeah.
Right. Where they were competing against the Bulls in some of those huge series. I mean, we're talking about decades being absent from that stage. So the Knicks have a lot of talent. The Knicks, there's certain Knicks players I believe are outperforming expectations. I think Tom Thibodeau is getting the most out of his players. You took the Eastern Conference champions to 6 games. And those Eastern Conference champions took the champions 7 games with an injured best player, right? So it was close. You're close. You're not far away. You have to hire a new coach because you decided that you were going to fire Tom Thibodeau without a plan. Their plan was to literally go and try to take somebody else's coach. They try to get Jason Kidd. They try to go after Ime Udoka. Both of them are coaching in Texas, one for the Mavericks, one for the Rockets. They're both teams on the upswing. Like they're not taking those coaches.
Right.
So the Knicks already look like a mess. It doesn't make any sense and they don't have a process. So they're in their search. They end up hiring Mike Brown, who's basically a retread at this point. Like he's coached the Kings. He's coached the assistant ranks. He's been, for the Cavaliers, well known there, the Lakers along the way. But Don Staley's name came up as a potential candidate for the job. And we actually did a stream with this topic about her potential fit in New York and her potential fit in the NBA, which is really the question, right? So Don Staley comes out and says that she possibly handled things wrong within the interview process. And she said or did something that maybe costed her the opportunity to get the job offer. I have an interesting perspective on this because I don't think she was ever a serious candidate because they hired Mike Brown, who was a retread. if she was truly a consideration, she should have had a second interview.
Mm-hmm.
She should have had, I mean, if anything, if she really was a real candidate, why would they take Mike Brown over her? But I think there's politics to this, Bruce.
Yeah.
And that's where it's not a question about ability. People are talking about how she's achieved in the college ranks. It's not what this is about. It doesn't matter what you could do in college.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was men's college basketball, we have seen it not play out well in the NBA for college coaches who had huge success. Now, if you bring into this gender dynamic with
I got something to say about that.
With male players who have never had this before. Like most of these players in the NBA, Bruce, didn't have female coaches in college or high school.
Right.
So you're going to introduce it to the NBA level where they're making $30 million a year. And they already have a ton of control and say on what the organizations do.
Yep.
This, and then she said that, like this thing about she costed herself, like it's basically foot in the mouth moment, I believe. I think it's disingenuous. I don't know what your take is on it, but I don't see it, for her to kind of, she's like trying to save face. What do you think, Bruce?
I can see that. Well, let's listen to the quote and then we'll come back because I definitely have some thoughts on that. So let's listen to what she had to say. So she was recently, excuse me, on the Post Moves podcast with Candace Parker and what's her name? Caitlin Clark's teammate in Indiana. I can't remember. It just slipped me. But Candace Parker, let's see. Pardon me. I want to make sure I get this right. It's the Post Moves podcast with, Candace Parker and Aaliyah Boston, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Candace Parker, an all-time great. Aaliyah Boston, a current all-star, right? Very good player. Aaliyah Boston was also coached by Dawn Staley in college, so I'm sure that there's that. Relationship. Thank you. Relationship. Okay, so let's listen to what she had to say, and then we'll go from there. And Bruce, you really got to look up what slander means, bro. You really got to look up what slander means. Just because you're being critical of someone does not mean you're slandering them. All right, let's go.
So would you ever seriously take an NBA job?
Would I seriously? Like I interviewed for the Knicks. I did. It was the same interview that everybody else that was in their candidate pool. Same thing. Went in. I mean, it was like hours in the interview. I thought I did pretty well. I was well prepared for the interview, right? If the Knicks would have offered me the job, I would have had to do it, okay? Not just for me, it's for women, for just to break open that I would have to, and it's the New York Knicks. And I'm from Philly, but it's the freaking New York Knicks. And I did say that in the interview. Like, I actually said it. Y'all don't have to censor it out.
You can say it. We got creative control of it. We can bleep you out.
But I did. I was like, it's freaking New York Knicks. Like, yes. Would I take any NBA job? No. But I will say this. The NBA has to be ready for a female head coach.
All right, so let me stop it there. So first, I would have to take the job to burst open the door for women. But then she says, see, this is the. Then she says, would I take any NBA job? No. Which is it? Wouldn't any NBA job burst open the door for women as a head coach in the NBA? Right?
Yeah.
But see, always with the BS. Always with the BS. See, this is
why. Those two things can't coexist, right?
No.
Taking any NBA job would indicate she was trying to break down the door.
That's right.
For the culture. For women.
Right. But she only wants that particular one to burst open the door for women. You see? So she's already talking to BS. This is why this is a bad idea from the beginning. But before we continue, let me tell you something about New York. I don't know what you know about New York City, but it's one of the few cities where people still actively read newspapers, right? New York Post, New York Times.
That's New York culture. New York
Daily News, right?
Yeah.
And every day you hopping on the train to go into the city or go where you got to go, and you grab a paper, right? They got the paper stand by the train station. So you grab a paper, you read it on there. Fine. So one of the few cities people actively read papers, and one of the big things you hear about it on ESPN or Fox Sports 1 or whatever, they always talk about the back page because in New York City, the newspapers are in tabloid form. So you open them this way, not vertically. And the back page is a sports page, right? So that's the thing. Winning the back pages is what they talk about in terms of getting the eyes and the money in terms of the consumer. And so I think, to your point, this whole thing was never about hiring Dawn Staley or, making some great move and introducing a woman as a head coach. Putting her name into the head coaching search won the back page in New York City. I truly believe that. Your thoughts before I continue on this clip here?
That's an interesting take. I remember when AT&T was searching for a new CEO to replace the former Randall Stevenson, who costed the company like $150 billion in debt. What's that?
Sneed Mobile Tech, y'all.
Yeah. He costed the company like $150 billion in debt. He tried to purchase, I think it was DirecTV and Warner Media. So $150 billion of debt came with that transaction. It was a complete fail and blunder. So he had a golden parachute where he was basically going to cash out. They were going to tell him, your time as CEO is done. When they were searching for the replacement CEO, it was kind of interesting. There was a woman's name in the CEO search.
Okay.
And instantly I thought to myself, a company that's 110 years old, like AT&T, American Telegraph and Telecom Company, like we're talking about Alexander Graham Bell, 1893.
Right.
So I'm like, this company is too old school, too traditional. They're not really going to hire a woman. I already know how this goes. This is pandering, right? This is literally like, we're doing our due diligence, doing our search. So we're going to look at, they were never going to hire a woman. It was always going to be a guy who was 6 feet plus tall, who had a really big, deep voice and looked like a leader, because that's what people need to see in a place like AT&T.
Great point. Great point.
And that's what I think of with this. Like, who are the Knicks really going to hire? Was it really going to be Dawn Staley? Really? And not because she can't coach. It's not about that.
I don't know why Bruce is going there. I don't know if he heard either of us say she's not a great basketball mind. Who said that? There's more to it than that.
If it was about coaching, Mark Jackson would have a job.
Thank you. Great point. Yeah, it's not about her being a great basketball mind at all. And I'm going to get deeper into it. And some people aren't going to like what I have to say, but it's my damn show. I don't care. We're going to continue.
You can't just interview somebody and say we're gonna hire her, because here's the thing, because I think I probably lost the job by asking this question, or I had a series of questions that I asked them. One was for who they were looking for why I was in the candidate pool, right? If I was so attractive, I said, has the New York Knicks organization in its history ever had what you're looking for? They wanted a team. They wanted the inclusiveness with management and the coaches, and they wanted to feel like a team, a closely knit franchise. And the answer was really no. But if you don't hire anybody different, how are you going to get that? That's one. And then my other question was, how, if you hired me as the first female coach in the WNBA, how would it impact your daily job? Because it would, because you're going to be asked questions that you don't have to be asked if you hire a male coach. There's going to be the media. There's going to be all this stuff that you're going to have to deal with that you didn't have to deal with, and you don't have to deal with when you hire a male. And then that got them to thinking. That really got them to thinking about, shit, maybe she's right. Right. And then I felt the energy change after that. So I shot myself in the foot by being Aaliyah, being inquisitive, asking all those darn questions.
That's okay. I'll always ask a question. You know me.
All right. So Bruce says, y'all just feel a woman can't lead a man, lead men. So how do I say this? In corporate America, I get what Sneed is saying, but in corporate America, in younger companies, women can lead men. Okay. In the military, women can lead men. Why? Because there is a very defined set of expectations. There are rules in place. If someone outranks you, they give you an order. As long as it's legal, you obey it. And if you don't, well, then you face repercussions, right? Cool. There are things in place for that. Now, we're talking about the highest of high-level athletics. We're talking about a bunch of testosterone-fueled alpha males, right? Let's do it this way. Remember a few years back, Draymond got into it with Steve Kerr, and he told Steve Kerr, "Suck my genitals," right? Obviously, he didn't say it like that, right? But could you imagine what it would be, the nonsense that would go on if you had a Draymond type and he tells a female coach, "Hey, suck my," right? Can you imagine that?
It's going to start a civil war.
Say again?
It's going to start a civil war within the organization.
Right. We've had instances in the past of coaches literally getting in physical altercations with players, right? We've seen that. Obviously, can't do that with a woman. You're putting a woman into an environment she shouldn't be in, especially in a quote unquote position of leadership over a bunch of testosterone fueled alpha males. It doesn't work. It's not supposed to be that way. Plain and simple. That's all there is to it. I don't get why that's so difficult to comprehend. It's not a good situation. She's got plenty of opportunities to coach. She coached at W. She could coach in college and continue winning chips. What's wrong with that?
There's coaches in the NBA who have given opportunities and placed women in positions to be in leadership type positions. And those opportunities obviously should be lending themselves to head coaching opportunities. So like, you remember Becky Hammond, you remember that with the Spurs. I saw a lot of the Rick Carlisle and his daughter.
His daughter's on that stuff?
I mean, I saw her.
Okay.
She was there in the timeouts of the games.
Okay.
Coordinating and running, drawing up plays and explaining and getting guys organized. Those are administrative duties.
But guess how that's happening, Sneed? That's happening through the backing of her dad is the coach.
Yes.
When it was Becky Hammond, that was happening through the backing of, okay, we got to chill because we know that Pop got her back. When it's just her, it's a different situation.
It is very different. So what I'm saying is there's that like placement that like, it's like permission. It's like cosign, right? I don't know what Don Staley's cosign would be. And the New York Knicks obviously listened to what she had to say about those questions. Okay, so she made them think about that. Like, she's basically saying they thought about the smoke and don't want the smoke.
Right.
But I mean,
but they shouldn't. This is what you get for trying to win the back pages instead of just making the smart move.
But New York has always been a place with smoke when it comes to the organizations, the GM. Just look at how the New York Knicks organization is viewed and constantly tagged by the media as messy, disorganized, and dysfunctional. Like, that's a thing. Remember the Charles Oakley situation? Like you remember some of those things. Like, they happen all the time with New York. It would be a zoo. Remember the Brooklyn Zoo song with the
ODB
with ODB? It'd be the Brooklyn Zoo all in the MSG all the time. Those reporters would have a lot of questions, a lot of statements, pressing topics about like, hey, you're on a 5-game losing streak. Do you think this has anything to do with the fact that they've never had a female coach before?
Right.
Like, those things would happen. And I don't think the New York Knicks are the organization for that.
Right.
I don't think it's the owner. I don't think it's the GM for that job.
Right. Yeah. I think it was, and I don't know if you remember me saying it. I thought it was an absurd idea from the beginning, and I'm glad it didn't work out. But I think, to your point, it's very interesting that she's trying to spin it now and say, I put my foot in my mouth and, I shot myself in the foot and that's why I didn't get the job. You didn't get the job because it's a bad idea. Plain and simple. Just, you're a dominant collegiate coach. You're doing your thing. If you want to coach the pros, go coach in the W. What's the problem there? I don't understand why that's an issue or why it has to be an issue. It's just, no. You have your lane, use it. Not difficult.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she was saying those things within the interview with Candace and Aaliyah. Maybe those were political statements. Bruce, maybe she was trying to act like she was being a thoughtful trailblazer, and maybe she was disclosing information that maybe she shouldn't have said. Because this would imply, her statement would imply that she was going to get the job, and she costed herself the job by saying what she said.
Maybe
and
so.
I don't believe that to be the case. I don't believe she had the job locked up. I don't think she was the favorite to land the job. I just I think they were trying to make it look like they had a plan and that they were being open and objective to finding a good coach.
Right.
I don't really think she was ever taken seriously. Mike Brown got the job. He is a retread. He's a fine coach, but you're not winning the NBA Finals. Is he going to do anything different than Tom Thibodeau?
No. That was, and we talked about that as well. That was a very dumb firing, but the Knicks aren't exactly the brightest organization.
And by the way, Bruce, since when does a candidate who's interviewing stump the GM or the owners that are hiring?
Right.
That's weird to me. She said the whole energy in the room changed. Really? From a question from the interviewee? Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if I believe it, first of all, but let's say it did happen, then that says something more about the Knicks worse than I even knew before.
Right.
That's kind of weak, bro.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
What do you think it would? Do you think that she's telling the truth, that the air left the room when she said that?
Okay, so she could be telling the truth. However, she could be misinterpreting it, right?
Or do you think that they would have thought to themselves, why would she bring this up? She just costed herself the job.
Well, there's that, and then or you could look at it like, damn, maybe she's seeing through this farce and they didn't know how to respond, right? Like we know this was all for the clicks and the cameras.
Yeah.
How do we answer this without blowing that up? I think that's what, if it happened the way she went down, that's what it really was. That's what it really was. Interesting. Straight BS, man.
Yeah.
Straight BS. Pat Summitt, maybe Dawn Staley. Nah, no problem. Players gonna listen to her.
Pat Summitt was never going to coach in the NBA.
That's what Coach T. There's no woman. First of all, no woman needs to be coaching in the NBA or the NFL. Just no. And secondly, it's not going to work. Like I said, we have instances on record where coaches and players have gotten into physical altercations. Right? Again, you got too much testosterone going. It's just too much alpha. No, you can't. No, because think about it. Is that woman really and truly going to be able to command the respect? Is she really and truly going to be able to coach a male superstar as hard as she might need to? Think about the stories we heard about. I don't know if you guys listened to the Ty Lue interview on Club Shay Shay recently, when he was talking about how Phil Jackson was really going hard on Shaq and Kobe, right? Just ripping them in the meetings. Hey, what you guys aren't doing, what you guys are doing, blah, blah, blah. Really, to make an example, right? Think about when we hear about how Belichick used to destroy Brady in the meetings. Think about when we hear how Coach Pop used to destroy Timmy in the meetings, right? And those are superstars, right? So think about realistically in these sports. What woman is going to be able to do that to one of these guys? Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. And Bruce talking all that, oh, you just think women shouldn't lead men? Yeah, you tell me you're gonna stand there and have some little woman screaming on you. Yeah, all right, that's not happening. But I think it's just total BS from the jump. Total BS. I'm glad it didn't happen. I thought it was a very stupid idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll find out next year when there's a coaching position vacant.
For the Knicks.
We'll see if they call Dawn Staley.
No, but we don't have to worry about it because she already said that she's not taking just any NBA job, only the Knicks, right?
So she's not about kicking in the door for women.
No. Again. But realistically, right?
So she doesn't want to coach the Hornets. She doesn't want to coach.
Sneed, you and me were around the same age, right? Both been married for a while. Anytime you have an extended discussion with a female, she's going to contradict herself during the course of that discussion. We just saw it happen. And it took, about a minute and a half?
Most people, when you give them the opportunity to talk a lot, they will say too much. And
there you go.
It goes off the rails beyond their plan.
Mm-hmm. There you go. All right, let's go ahead and let's take 2 calls on this. I want to hear what's said. I'm sure Bruce got something to say. He's going to call in and talk some nonsense, but I'm waiting for it.
Bruce thinks like there's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like the theoretical.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, oh, here's what it would be in a perfect world.
Right. But we don't have that.
I have to consider that this is NBA locker rooms.
Mm-hmm.
So those are personnel dynamics that you can't overlook.
Right.
You know, you brought up the point of the NFL. Like the NBA is not really different. If anything, the players are more powerful.
Right.
On like a personality basis.
Of course.
Right. There's more fall in line in the NFL than there is in the NBA.
Right.
Know? I mean, just think about it, man. Is LeBron taking coaching from Don Staley? Is Kobe taking coaching from Don Staley? Shaq? The Diesel?
Right.
They couldn't get the Diesel to work out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Listen to VD talk about Shaq and how he didn't want to work. And Luka, Don Staley could say what JJ Redick said about Luka in the offseason?
Right.
Certain players out of shape and not in championship condition. Like, she could get away with that, bro.
All right, here we go. What up, Bruce?
Hey, man, how y'all feeling, man? Look, I'm going to be objective.
Feeling good,
I'm going to be
man.
objective today, but you talk about I'm going to – hold on now. First of all, how you doing, Bruce? You weren't going to do no show today. I had to, how could I say, talk about you slipping.
You had to get me right, man. I don't know if you heard. I think it was right before you got on, man. I gave you props for making sure I was right. I appreciate that, brother.
You were that battery pack,
Yeah, definitely put that battery in.
No, seriously, don't be objective, though. But it would have been a problem, though, as far as like communication between her and the guys. I most definitely hear one of the guys telling her, "You're a woman. You shouldn't be leading men anyway." You feel what I'm saying? I got hear Draymond talking trash to her, but you know, Dawn got the ultimate respect, though, yo. The guys adore her, yo. Like everybody adore on Dawn, though, yo.
So I agree with you. I agree with you on that, Bruce. Until she has to check somebody for not getting back on D. Until she has to check somebody in the film. You know what I mean?
So basically, you think that'll be an issue? Yeah,
I do.
Why? Because she got a coochie cat?
Oh, okay. I'll say this. I'll say if it's me, she not screaming on me in front of all these people. No.
The NBA is so soft nowadays. She probably could coach in the NBA because it's not likely she playing in the NFL. She coach in the NFL team. There's a difference. I think there's a difference, though.
There is, but it's still at the end of the day, man. It's still theoretically, testosterone fueled males. And
I got you. That. So you basically saying if Nick's like Mr. Smith said, the teacher, my man Steve,
yes,
say if they lose 5 in a row, they're gonna bring that up about her being a woman because they lost 5 in a row and all that stuff like that. And, I just believe, I don't know, man. It would have been dope to see, but at the same time, I kind of get what y'all saying. It would have been a. How could I say?
Bruce, you don't think a civil war could erupt in the middle of the season on a 10-game losing streak?
Oh, definitely. They'd be like, "Yo, get her out of here." Definitely.
She'll get the blame even though the players are playing horribly.
100%. 100% that could happen. Absolutely.
And realistically, that happens with male coaches.
So and then she'll get fired. They'll win 2 games, and then they'll say, "Look, we told you we were right." Even though they're not right.
G from North Philly, man. You know, on Dawn is G, man.
What does that mean?
A lot, man. She got respect, but I got what you're saying. It'll be a clash. It'll be a lot of heads will be bumped just because she's a female, and guys gonna feel like she had to listen to, and this. How could I say? Misogynistic.
No. We don't. Well, I'm not gonna say we, but let me drop a little something. I don't do the misogynistic piece. I don't like that word. You know why? Because nobody ever says anything about women being the converse of that. What was what's the opposite word? Misandrist. No one ever talks about females that are misandrist, but they're quick to throw misogynistic on males. So until we hear an even representation, I don't use the term misogynistic. Nope.
Well, she most definitely, but at least she was honest about shooting herself in the foot by talking too much. Sometimes you can talk so much, and you say something to destroy the whole conversation.
No, you're right.
The truth reveal itself when somebody talking too much, So, but at the same time, if you wanted to break the doors down, why you only want to coach the Knicks? Coach anything.
Exactly.
Like, what are you talking about? So that's what she lost from me, and then I'm like, it was a clout thing with you, but I get it. That's the New York Knicks, though. Like, bro, everything's business. Now, Dawn about that money, so you can see her on social media with her Louis Vuitton outfits on, and she's a celebrity now, so she ain't trying to go nowhere in no small market. So I kind of get it, but at the same time, you want to break the door down. I don't give a goddamn. Your coach forgot the Washington Wizards.
That's
they
right.
offered it to you.
That's right.
All right, man. I'll call your boys back, man.
All right, appreciate the call, brother.
I watched the South Carolina game, man. It was good, man. All right, man.
Okay, appreciate the call, man.
All right.
Good call, Brucey.
I'm surprised I didn't get a call from Steve on this. Steve probably knows he can't control himself.
Steve is enjoying a sandwich made by someone right now.
Right. Caitlin made him a sandwich. I think Steve is trying to save us from getting demonetized, because if he calls in, he's gonna go off. Oh man. All right, y'all. So we'll go ahead then and we'll take it to the next topic. Oh, hold on.
Bro, by the way, Bruce,
good,
you
man.
remember when LeBron had David Blatt fired?
Yep.
Was good.
David Blatt was a championship coach internationally.
Yep.
He was known as one of the best basketball minds.
Yeah. He took him to the finals the prior year and had him number 1 in the East and was the all-star coach at the time.
Gone. Ghost. Never heard from again, bro.
Right. Laker Nation, what you got, brother? How you doing?
Oh, T, what up?
Hey, it's Be Ready Sports Podcast. Now I got to transition.
Okay. Coach T, Be Ready Sports Podcast. What's going on, my brother?
I'm calling in because Steve too scared to.
Yeah, he just called. When you're done, he's gonna call back. He just called.
Oh, finally. Man, I gotta agree. I gotta agree with my man. I gotta agree with my man Steve, and I gotta agree with y'all to this extent. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman. It got everything to do with her attitude.
Okay.
It's like that. She has that mild, it's almost like that mild way of the highway aggressive attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll work in college, but I don't think that'll work on the pro level, with especially if you're dealing with egotistical NBA players that are making 20, 30, 40, 50 million a year. And you got average guys making 25 million a year. And then you just gonna walk in the door and just be like, you're gonna do this, and this. No. Now, if she comes in and gradually earns her respect, then that'll be different. But I don't see Don Staley doing that. Because it's hard if you've been coaching one way. A lot of people are good coaches, but they're not great coaches. Because great coaches can adapt to their environment and not have to make their players adapt to them. I don't think she's a great coach in the fact that she can adapt to her environment. I think she's a good coach that has to have her players adapt to her for her to be successful. She's not like a Pat Summitt who can adapt to her environment. That's what sets her apart from everyone else. Don Staley can do that.
Okay, that's fair.
So that ain't got nothing to do with her being a woman. That ain't got nothing to do with her. I just think it's just, man, with the attitude you're dealing with pro players.
Nah, I think I got to push back. I think her being a woman has a huge role in it, and I already, broke down why I feel that way. But I think that's a huge part of it.
Okay, we're gonna agree to disagree on that. I don't think it had nothing to do. I don't think it had anything to do with her being a woman. I just think it's more of the attitude, because players are gonna, because a player is gonna play for a coach that they respect, regardless if it's a man or a woman. They don't respect you, they're not gonna play for you. You come in there straight off the gate, you ain't proving nothing on the pro level, and you come in there trying to lay down the law. They're gonna be like, who the fuck you think you're talking to? They're gonna say to themselves, they're gonna say B word. I don't run. I'm a multi all-star in this league. You ain't done shit. I ain't even gonna come in here and just try to demo me to do it. Man, please. That's how the attitude's gonna be. And now, if she goes to the WNBA and do that, it might work, because they're gonna be like, okay, you wanted this, and this, proving yourself with a woman's level. They might be receptive, but NBA, you ain't done nothing on the pro level, especially. On the men's side, you ain't doing anything had no success on the men's side. They're gonna be looking at you crazy. I'm like, You don't come in here and try to lay down the law on me.
Okay.
That's a good point, Coach T, because they do that all the time. The NBA players say all the time, "What have you done?" They tell white guy coaches all the time, "You didn't play."
Yeah.
Even I mean, they just don't. You weren't a player.
Mm-hmm.
You could have a brilliant basketball mind. He could have great structure, philosophy, coach a great defense, have a creative way of creating opportunities for his offensive players, and they'll be like, "You haven't done anything. Who are you? You didn't play. You ain't one of us. You can't relate to this."
Pop didn't play.
But that's what they say. These players say things like that. Even though it doesn't work, they still say it.
Right.
You got to prove yourself.
Yeah, okay.
You got to prove yourself.
You got players saying they don't need coaches. NBA players say they don't need a coach. They don't want a coach. You want to bring Don Staley? They don't want a coach.
Here we go.
It's the modern. It's a modern mentality.
He should not be named.
You forgot what he who shall not be named did to Spo in that timeout. What he did with that shoulder, we forgot.
Oh yeah.
What is that, bro? Or what about what Latrell Sprewell did to PJ Carlesimo?
Yeah.
I ain't defending him, but
there's two sides to that story.
I think the situation was he was just in a bad spot at the time. They grown men, and it was probably an emotional time. And he's like, "I'm the coach. You better listen to me." He probably turned around and like, "Leave me alone," type and put his hands around his neck. It probably wasn't something that he meant to happen. That is my opinion. Being around, locker rooms and stuff. That's the only thing I could think of that happened. I don't think he choked him out because he said you need to run suicide or something.
No. If you, it was on YouTube. One of the players that was with Golden State at the time was telling the thing, and apparently PJ was really like going in on Spree like every day, and he was talking to him in a way that Spree felt was very disrespectful because PJ is he's a New Jersey guy, a New Jersey Italian guy, a lot of F-bombs and this, that. And then he was coming out of college and
PJ was probably extra. I guarantee.
Yeah, he was.
Because I'd never heard that about Spree prior. So
from what was told, and Spree apparently told him, like, look, man, chill with how you talk to me. And he's and so finally
Spree was a star.
Yeah, he was.
Spree was a star. He was giving everybody the business.
No doubt. All right, Coach T, man, I appreciate the call, brother.
Coach T don't just be running his mouth. Coach T know what the hell he be talking about.
Yeah, until he start talking about USC. But anyway,
come in the league, man. you trying to over here flip narratives and shit.
I'm not trying to flip nothing, man. You can look that up.
We'll
Matter of fact,
we'll see what y'all do tonight in the rain. But I just know, even though we played nobody yesterday, we did what we were supposed to do. We dropped 73 on them.
Right.
We're not afraid of y'all.
Okay, you got it. But I appreciate the call, man. I'm gonna let you go, man. All right, brother.
Bro, Reggie Bush ain't gonna save you this year.
Right. Real quick, I wanted to respond to a comment in the chat. Young Disciple says all that woman bashing stuff is weak AF. If a woman can be vice president, they damn sure can be a professional coach of men. It's going to happen in soon too. One, who's woman bashing?
Who is bashing women?
Who's bashing women? So that's one. There's woman bashing going on.
Wasn't us.
Two, it's not a function of if a woman can be vice president. If a woman was selected as the running mate of the presidential candidate who won, they didn't win on the merits of having a woman vice president. What are we talking about? And damn sure can be a professional coach of men. Maybe we will see it. I'm just saying it's not the best idea in football or basketball. I don't know about other sports, but probably not hockey either. You don't see female boxing trainers. All right, we're not even going. All right. Steve, what's going on, brother?
Not much, man. I was trying to watch football. Everybody was telling me to call in. Everybody
King of the chat is in the building.
In the building.
I can't. Why? Is it because we were talking about a woman coach? Is that why everybody wanted me to call?
Please don't get us demonetized. No,
I'm just saying, y'all asked for this. Everybody, why is Steve called? Steve's scared to call. Like,
I didn't say you scared to call.
I think that was Coach T, but
that was Coach T.
I'm not going to try to get anybody demonetized, but I'll say it as nicely as I can. There's no way that a locker room of guys are going to follow a woman head coach, especially in the NBA.
Yeah.
Where there's a competitive league where people – you think those guys want to go around in an 82-game season listening to other teams talking about their woman coach?
That's I didn't even think about that.
That's embarrassing. And these guys know it. You just can't say it because it's not nice to women and it excludes them. But you know what? That's life. That's life.
Hey, Steve, can I push back on that real quick? And then you can continue. The first team, that would be a problem. The second and third team wouldn't be a problem.
Oh, okay.
What?
I get it.
Once the door was kicked into the first team, they had a female coach. The second, third team, it would be normalized.
But again, she doesn't really want to kick the door in. So
no, she doesn't. She clearly doesn't. She wants the Knicks job.
That's it. Yeah. So
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just think at any level. Do you think San Antonio? Who was that woman that was coaching on Pop?
Becky Hammond. She's coaching the Las Vegas Aces now, and she's doing a great job.
But do you guys even think like she was the pioneer? She was the one that was supposed to be the next woman head coach. Remember, there was a lot of hype about that.
Well, why didn't she take over? Why didn't she take over for Pop?
That's what I mean. Like, if she was supposed to be the next woman coach, and if the Spurs haven't really tried to land that or lock her
any
down,
organization can do it, it's the Spurs.
Promise her the job when it comes over. That's what I mean. And the Spurs are about as respectable of an organization as you can say. So it's like, again, that and just the idea. Listen, guys, I don't know why we have to sugarcoat it. Women do not need to be in a men's locker room. They're not going to lead men. Like, if you want to let them be like ball girls and stuff and like trainers to learn like assistant stuff, I get it. But it's like no organization is going to like submit to the authority of a woman universally in a male dominated. It's just not going to happen. It's going to be embarrassing. It's like cuck shit. It's like, listen, we're amongst men. We're in a men's driven league. We're the only team with a woman coach. Like, that's just dumb. It's just dumb. And it's not woman bashing. I just think it's okay for men to set standards and boundaries and be like, this is a men's
No, it's not.
league.
No, it's not. You misogynist.
Well, it's not. You're right.
How dare you set standards and boundaries?
But I know what you're saying. Hypothetically.
I mean, I get it.
It should be like, we're not the project team that's going to try to let a woman coach us in a professional league. Like, now we're forever going to be the team that has a woman head coach, and when the ship sank and everything went to hell, because that's what's going to happen. You see men, and there's nothing like woman hating it. It happens to men every year, every cycle we see in the NBA. Some young guy who got a chance, maybe it was a year or two, and he's out the door. I mean, we see it all the time. So I don't know. I just think why would you invite that into your organization?
Agreed.
But since everybody was so curious, yes. Did I hear a comment while I was on the phone about woman being a vice president? Like, we should that was a bad idea.
Steve, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take it to the next topic. Love your enthusiasm. Thank you for the call, King of the Chat. I appreciate it, man.
All right, fellas.
I'll catch up with you later on in the Notre Dame game, man. We'll talk.
Sounds good. All right,
Steve.
guys.
See you, man. Enjoy the game tonight.
He will. Well, he may not. we text a lot during the games.
You're gonna harass him.
Oh man. All right. Good calls on that topic. Let's go ahead and take it to the next one. King Henry, Derrick Henry, one of the best running backs in NFL history. Would you agree with that?
He's top of the class, bro.
He's a beast. He's an absolute beast. Now, some people, I guess it depends on what type of back you like, right? If you like that all-around back, the LT type who's going to, catch it out of the backfield and all that, maybe so. Me, I really like the bell cow back that you can just hand it to him 25, 30 times and watch him get stronger as the game goes on and really punish the opposition. That's what I like. Your Adrian Petersons, your Barry Sanders, your Derrick Henrys.
I think by any definition, Bruce, Henry's amazing.
I agree.
Productivity is sick.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We see games of 200 yards rushing, 25, 30 carries, seasons of 1,000 every year, 10 plus TDs, different teams still productive. He's aging, and it seems to not matter.
Crazy.
I don't know what definition are we talking about where he doesn't fit the bill, you know?
Yeah, no, I get it. I just think some people, Steve, seem to like, guys who catch it out of the backfield and all that. Like LT's his guy. We have the argument.
But like, what if your team doesn't do that?
AP. Right.
So then the team, you weren't going to utilize that anyways.
Yeah. No. I get it. I'm, again, we have our preferences of the different types of players we like. But the reason I bring this up is because, oh man, I didn't upload that graphic. Because Derrick Henry is going into his, what season is this for Derrick Henry? Is this 12th year? 11th or 12th year in the league. And he is, rapidly moving up the charts in terms of, say again?
All time.
Yeah. All time in terms of rushing yardage, in terms of rushing touchdowns. I think he's at a point, if he has another elite season, about 1,800 rushing yards, he can break into the top 10 all time in terms of rushing yardage. And so this kind of bears the question of, how good is Derrick Henry? Where does he sit on the all time, list for you in terms of all the great running backs? Do we think, where do we think he kind of lands? And I think it's a pretty viable question, right? We love lists in sports, right? We love to make lists and we love to have these debates and arguments. So, as you can see, we've got a couple of graphics here. These are courtesy of ESPN.com. And as we can see right now, Derrick Henry is 19th, all time in rushing. And like I said, if he gets about 1,800 yards here, he can break into the top 10 this year. And if he breaks into the top 10, he's passing a lot of big time names, right?
Yeah.
Steven Jackson, Fred Taylor, Thurman Thomas, Franco Harris, Marcus Allen, Edgerrin James, Marshall Faulk, Jim Brown, Tony Dorsett. And
so you got to think about it like this, Bruce. The guys that would be ahead of him, let's say he has the big year. Okay. Let's say he gets into the top 10. The guys who are ahead of him played more seasons than him.
Yeah, that's the crazy part too.
That's really the only thing. Like if I'm looking at the top 10, the only guys who wouldn't really play more seasons than him would be like Barry Sanders. I mean, that's really everybody else played a crap ton of years, bro.
Yeah.
Jim Brown, like he's gonna pass him, but Jim Brown didn't play a long time. So like really all those guys just played 16 seasons or more. 15, 16, 17 years.
Yeah. And to me, I think the crazy part, like you just mentioned, Barry Sanders, he averaged 1,500 rushing yards a season. Like
and he did it like once he hit that stride, it was just like every year.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but no, Derrick Henry, he's that dude, man. He is that dude. Tied for 6th in career rushing touchdowns with 106. So he's there. I mean, obviously we know he's a Hall of Famer, right? I think it's fair to say if he retires today, which he's not going to, but if he did, we know he's in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Where do you rank him among these guys? That's starting to be the question now because he's by far the leading rusher as an active player. Where do you rank him? You want me to leave this up so you can see these names?
Yeah, that's fine. Where do I rank him? So part of this has to do with style. You brought it up earlier, the type of running back, right? And then like usage, how teams typically use him. I mean, clearly coaches don't feel like utilizing him in the passing game helps them win all that much.
Right.
I don't think, is he a great blocker? I haven't really heard anybody speak about his blocking.
I can't imagine he wouldn't be at his size and strength.
Right. Well, ideally he can block, but I've never heard anybody say, man, what a great blocker he is out of the backfield. So I'm guessing he's serviceable in that aspect in terms of his job duties, but they don't typically throw him the ball much.
Right.
So he's not going to have those prolific receiving numbers. Like if I look at this list, the discussions that you can have about LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, that kind of makes him a little bit unique. If you look at some of the players on this list, they played in the NFL at a time where they weren't throwing the running back the ball. So like that aspect of it isn't even involved. Like look at all these players, Bruce. Who are the great receiving running backs? Marshall Faulk, LaDainian Tomlinson. That's really it. The other guys are all pretty much the bell cow runners. So stylistically, they're all kind of very similar. I got him all time Like if I'm picking my favorite running backs or the best running backs I ever seen play, he's starting to creep into that AP territory. He's starting to creep into that. I think he's better than Jerome Bettis. You know, it's really just because Jerome Bettis played more that he would have more yards after this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got him better than Edgerrin James, better than Franco Harris, better than Thurman Thomas. Like he's better than a lot of these guys. John Riggins, like Steven Jackson was a great running back, but Derrick Henry's way better. He's just more capable. He's probably faster. He's bigger. Not that Steven Jackson wasn't a good back, but Derrick Henry's
good.
Yeah, but Derrick Henry's better.
Yeah, he's different.
The only guys who are clearly better than him are Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, AP. I mean, there's a discussion to have about Emmitt Smith not being better than Derrick Henry if we're talking about actual running back.
Yeah.
Like Emmitt Smith did have a great line, so it helped him get to these prolific numbers. But like, I mean, what if Derrick Henry plays 4 or 5 more seasons getting over 1,000 yards?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, are we going to be talking about how he's going to be right there with 15, 16, 17,000 yards?
Right.
He's in the discussion, top 10 backs, 100%.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like if he plays those extra couple of years, you know, at an elite level, now you're talking about him having a prolific career to the point where he's top 5. You got to push guys out and make room for Derrick Henry.
So I think he's better than Curtis Martin.
I do.
Him in the bus, that's tough. I'm trying to be.
He's better than Jerome Bettis.
Yeah.
He's better.
They're similar type of backs, except that he's taller, probably a little faster. Why do you definitively say that he's better than the bus?
The game-breaking plays, those 80-yard runs that Derrick Henry has done in his career. That's a real thing.
Okay.
He could do that anytime, right, Bruce? That could happen at any moment of the game.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way about Jerome Bettis.
Okay. Okay. Eric Dickerson, I don't think he's better than ED.
Not yet. I mean, all-time wise. Yeah.
Better than Curtis Martin. I think he's better than Frank Gore. Frank Gore was just able to continue to produce at a high level for a long time, but I think he's better than Frank Gore.
I'd rather have Derrick Henry than Frank Gore running the ball.
I agree. ED, not better than ED. Tony Dorsett, that's a tough one. Jim Brown, not better than Jim Brown, although it's so hard to compare when you're talking about, 70 years ago.
Yeah, but Jim Brown, it's just the fact that he didn't play more years, or else you would have seen that guy with the 15,000 yards rushing, probably.
Yeah, just a total ridiculous legend.
Remember, he was averaging almost 6 yards a carry for like 10 seasons. 9 seasons, whatever.
Right.
9.
Right. Then when you get with the Marshall Faulk and the Edgerrin Jameses and the LTs, that's where you start to bring in the guy who is not only an elite runner but an elite receiver out of the backfield. And so that's where it comes into, okay, what type of scheme is the offense using? And what type of back do you like when you're making this list? Like I said, I don't need that. I got receivers and I got a tight end. I want a bell cow back. Hand it to him 25, 30 times. That's what I'm doing. Jim Harbaugh style. He doesn't need to catch it a lot. Every now and then, but he doesn't need to catch it a lot. So that doesn't mean a lot to me, but more, I think a lot of people are probably, especially in this modern era of football, are going to say that more versatile type of back is better. I don't think it's better. I just think it's different. So yeah, it definitely, I think he's better than Fred Taylor. I think he's better than Steven Jackson. Probably better than Franco Harris.
Better than Marcus Allen. Marcus Allen was fantastic.
I think Marcus Allen was like the progenitor of that type of, that type of back that we talk about when we talk about the LTs and the Marshall Faulk and Edgerrin James. Thurman Thomas, that's an interesting one. He was the guy right after Marshall Faulk. Remember, that was the guy getting 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving in the same season. That was crazy what he was doing.
I was a big fan of Thurman Thomas. The only problem with Thurman Thomas was the fact that Emmitt Smith was in the league at the same time. That's really it. I mean, Emmitt shined. Like, Barry was just incredible.
Yeah,
everybody could see what Barry would. So they're like, this guy has the worst line in football, and somehow he's like crazy productive.
Yeah.
You got to. So So if this is just about years in the league, Derrick Henry's going to pass a lot of these guys. In terms of abilities and how he plays the game, he's definitely top 10. You know, he's been so dominant for so long, Bruce.
Yeah.
He came into the league, he was, elite, and he stayed elite through his 30s now. How old is he, Bruce? 31? 30? 31?
Sounds about right. Let me check real quick.
Like, and it's going to help him that he's in Baltimore, where, he's got a fantastic young quarterback, a brilliant coach, a good defense. Like, it's there for him.
He's
to
still
continue.
getting 1,900 yards. He's starting.
Yeah, he can still continue to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he has that kind of like that LeBron run in his 30s where there's a handful of years where he's still like the guy, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And football's less forgiving than hoops.
Oh, absolutely.
He's getting tackled by the world's biggest, fastest dudes.
Right.
Big guys that are also pretty fast and they're super strong.
Yeah. Yeah. I just thought it was. I thought it was interesting, man. I didn't realize that he could break into the top 10 with a big season this year.
It's hard, Bruce, having to push guys out of that top 10.
That's the other
That's
thing.
Hard, right? Man. There's a lot of good players in there.
Yeah. It's the same thing with basketball. It's like we're always so quick, not we, but some people are always so quick. Oh, such and such is top 10, such top 10. All right, cool. You put them in. Who you taking out?
Yeah.
It always comes back to that. Who you taking out? That's what you have to think about. Who in good conscience can you remove to put someone in? That's always where those lists get difficult for me. And that's why it's very, very difficult unless it's just so overwhelming for me to put guys into my top 10.
You don't see Terrell Davis in that list. You didn't see OJ Simpson in that list.
I don't think Terrell Davis had enough.
Exactly. But if we're having conversations about when they were running the ball, how good were they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. Elite playoff performer. Yeah. OJ. But I think OJ had bad early years and bad late years. His middle career peak was insane, but like started off slow and ended slow. So it's like, did he have we know how great Juice was, but did he have the sustained excellence like a lot of these guys?
And then there's guys that are like on the edge of this conversation, like Shady McCoy, who I remember as like the most dangerous player of his era.
He was a problem.
Yes.
Really?
And he blocked well. He got better over the course of his career. He's blocking better. Like if you gave him a screen pass and you had blockers 5-10 yards down the field,
he's gone. And you just see that towel waving behind him as he's running. Yeah.
That was pretty amazing. And there's other guys too worth mentioning too. Marshawn Lynch was great in his time. Maybe it's just that prolific productivity, the 12 to 15 years of 1,000 plus, 1,500 plus.
Yeah, no question.
Jamal Charles, if not injuries, man. I mean, he was 150 yards receiving some games.
Yeah, Jamal Charles.
And they'd give him all those touches inside the 10. So it was like 2-3 touchdown games.
Right.
Yeah,
no, he was nice. He was nice. All right.
I remember having those guys in my fantasy teams, Bruce. It was crazy. Yeah.
All right. Let's take a couple calls on this. All right. Number 904-219-8264. Your thoughts on where does King Henry kind of fit for you in this top 20 list? And especially if he makes the top 10 in terms of rushing yards, where do you put him? How good do you think he is? Who do you think he's better than on this list? Definitely curious to hear what you think about. And you know what? I didn't mention Snead. What he's doing in an era where the running back is not nearly as important as it once was, that's even more impressive. Year in, year out, he's still, that guy putting up huge numbers.
Good point.
I think that's big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're just viewed as replaceable. The guy who comes in on third downs is the same way as the guy on first and second down.
Right. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, but now the whole thing is, you want to be a 3-down back, but a 3-down back, i.e., on third down, they want you to catch it, not hand it to you. So
when they want you to block,
you
got to pick up the blitz. It's a they're spreading 4 out. They got two tight ends going on routes, and you're blocking.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. Steve, what you got, man?
Am I allowed to call back again?
Yes, you can call
You
back.
have not been banned, sir.
Right.
I have a group of guys in mind that I know I couldn't put Henry above.
Okay.
But there's a debate after like maybe 8 or 9 in my mind, where it's like once you get to like in my opinion, once you get past like those first 8 guys, then you can kind of have arguments like Marcus Allen, OJ, Earl Thomas versus someone like a Henry. That's where I kind of place him right now. Like if he has another big year or two, like then I think he can pass a lot of those guys. A lot of those guys were able to put up back in the day. They put up bigger numbers into their 30s too. Well, not elite numbers, but you know what I mean? Like some guys in their 30s were rushing for 1,000 yards still, closer to that 29, 30. Now I know he's done it at 30, but if he can add another year or two into his 30s, then I think you're saying, okay, he's like definitely in the top 10 instead of it being a debate. Which he still has in his advantage because he's playing in Baltimore with Lamar. He could probably play until he's 34, 35. You know what I mean? Like,
So,
he
Steve,
doesn't look like he's slowing down.
No, he doesn't. Let me ask you this, Steve. Do you think that the actual the rushing yardage statistics and the rushing touchdowns, do you think that plays a role into where he is on this list of all-time running backs, or is it just a function of how good he is and what he can do? See, I know you know the difference, right? Like, with LeBron, we see him putting up all these incredible numbers, but it's like a lot of people see him as not being as good as some of the other guys whose statistical production he eclipses, right? So where are you on that?
Man, like, to evaluate running back, you almost have to use numbers, though.
Yeah, you do. I think so.
It's one of those really tricky positions where
yards per carry.
But like attempts, the era in which you played, like those are a lot of context when you're evaluating running backs. But I hear what you're saying, like pound for pound, do I think Henry is one of the best backs I've seen? Maybe that his numbers don't match some of those legends, but we can clearly see what he's able to do like, with the eye test.
Yeah, he's like 5.9, 4.9 yards per carry for his career.
Yeah. You know who else I think is like leaning into this discussion is Saquon. I don't think he's on par with Henry, but he's another guy that we can look at where it's like, man, at Saquon's peak, Saquon's one of the most electric runners. Like he's got a little bit of Barry Sanders. He's got a little bit of that make you miss in a phone box.
I see him as a Shady McCoy comp, actually.
I know what Steve is saying when he says Barry. Yeah, go ahead.
You know who, when I see Shady, you know who reminds me? Like the two, it's not like they were that far apart, but when I watch Shady and I watched Le'Veon Bell, like they had that, but there's that patience they have.
Yeah.
Like we know Shady with all the cuts, but if you really watched him run, his patience and how he set up those cuts.
His patience was in the tackle box.
It was like, yes, but it was weird. Like he was quick enough to like that first yard when he would take that handoff, like he could go in slow-mo, but he could still hit it. That's how I think Shady and Le'Veon have more comparison. I think Saquon honestly has a lot more Barry comparison. He's just really low to the ground and he's stout. And some of the moves he can make on a dime, I think his fluidity, it's more like Barry. Where when I see Shady, I think of a guy like Le'Veon. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm good with that. Yeah, it's really hard because, sorry to interrupt you, Steve, because when you look at, obviously, Emmitt Smith is by far, 2,500 yards roughly, all-time leading rusher in history, and nobody's going to tell you that he's the best running back of all time. Like, he may not be top 5, despite his incredible statistical production.
Some people
because the best running back before Emmitt Smith clearly was Jim Brown.
Right.
And he didn't have the statistical dominance, like total yards. Right? Because it's not just about total yards, Bruce.
No,
we
I
know
agree.
what we know what we saw play in, play out, game in, game out. You know,
Yeah,
what I mean?
no question.
That's why there's so much endearing to Barry Sanders.
There you go.
Right.
To me, he's hands down the greatest running back ever. To me,
I can't push back. I can't.
Like I would have like in my mind, I have a concrete top 5, top 6. I would even argue the 7th, where this is how I look at it. But I understand why people push back on Emmett, but I really can't, in good faith, not remember. I can't remember if it was like 93 or 94 when he held out those first 2 weeks. They were like 0-2 and 0-3, and then when he came back, it made a big difference. Where I understand those Dallas teams were loaded, but I think Emmett gets a little bit too much. Like
I get it.
We belittle Emmett too much because his team was so great, but he was really great.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but if Barry Sanders played in a different era, then we wouldn't have that comp. Barry Sanders was a more capable running back than Emmitt Smith.
Agreed.
So we knew that if Barry Sanders was on Dallas, Barry Sanders would have averaged 7.5 yards a carry.
I don't know if I would agree with that. When you say capable, it's like, man, now we kind of have to define for like, what do you mean by capable? Because I think Emmett was very much as capable.
Emmitt Smith was not as elusive as Barry Sanders.
No.
That was just going to hammer down. Where Barry could get you is like he takes that 8-yard run and makes it 50. That's what he does. But he's more elusive. He was more electrifying than Emmett. But capable, man, Emmett was damn capable.
I mean, but Barry Sanders had one weakness, and it was that he didn't have top end speed to beat the fastest corners and DBs. He sometimes got caught like 60 yards down the field. Sometimes that was his only weakness. I never saw weakness from Barry otherwise.
You could probably attribute that to the fact that he is pretty short. Like even in that time, he would have been short standards of running back. Where it's like maybe that little leg might be an issue with him. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he worked on speed all that much. I think he constantly worked on his elusiveness, power.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what we can all agree. Like we can dissect Barry, but we all agree he's one. And if you don't agree, it's like you can't really push back. Like you can understand that argument at least. And then after that, I think it does become a debate. But I have Barry one. But I think Henry has to put together another year or two like this. And I think he's like, okay, we can definitively say he's in the top 10. Now, how you argue that top 10, that's always going to be on the table. But the fact of the matter is now he's like unquestionable. We can mention him in this top 10. Because right now I'm close with him. But I don't know if I could put him over guys like OJ, Earl Campbell. I'm not. I hear the argument, and this isn't not at all shitting on Barry. I don't know if I can consent. I don't know if I can agree that he's better than Edge. Like I'm close, but I'm not fully convinced yet. If that's fair, like another year or two, and I'll be like, okay, I would put him over Edge. So there's a group of guys that still. I know we haven't seen them in 20 years or so, but they were really great, and I don't know if just because we haven't seen them in so much time, and we're seeing Henry right now. And we're not seeing many 30-year-olds do this anymore. If there's a little bit of a recency bias, but if he does it another year or two, he's definitely top 10.
Fair enough.
But yes, I'm going to get back to the South Carolina game. You guys have a good one.
I appreciate you, Steve. Thanks for the call, man.
All right, fellas.
So Barry Sanders ran a 4.37 in sweats at the Oklahoma State Pro Day.
How was you remember some of those plays where he got caught by some of those fast DBs?
Yeah, but there was also plays where he just took off. But I see.
I bet you know what it was probably, Bruce. He was probably a little tired because he had already run 30 yards before he got past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I know, right? What
Remember, he would reverse field and he would go in between.
Yeah.
Maybe that had something to do with it, bro. Breaking tackles,
Absolutely. What up, Bruce?
Man, listen. Did Steve just say Adrian James is better? He got Adrian James over Doug Henry.
He did say that.
No,
Yes.
Doug Henry don't get the respect he's supposed to get. I mean, he get the respect. Let me take that back. They get respect. because he's so physically gifted. It's like it just don't look real when he do what he did. So home run hitters, he got to be top 5 all time home run. How many 60-yard runs he got all time? Where he at all time? For let's say 40-yard runs. Anybody can pull that up? Who's the how many 40-yard runs? Huh?
I'm gonna see if I can find it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think he got what home run hitter? Derrick Henry, home run hitters? Who got the most 80-yard, 60-yard runs? Shit like that. Like I think he's probably like number 1.
Adrian Peterson might be up there.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry is most definitely top 8 all time, bro.
Derrick Henry has 24 career runs of 40+ yards in the NFL.
Jesus Christ.
That's a lot.
So who's that number 1? Where's that all time?
Hold on, I'm checking. Go ahead.
Is there any way you can find that out?
I'm trying to find it. Go ahead, man. Keep talking.
The fear that he strikes in people, get out of here. He's not out the top 10. Just stop. If he get a ring, he most definitely going to move up. That's not right.
Barry Sanders has the most 50-yard touchdown runs in NFL history.
There you go.
15, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
And he has 46 runs of 40+ yards.
Jim Brown is second with 12. So, like, there's space. What is it?
They don't give you the whole list. Well,
okay.
Maybe it's the way I'm phrasing the question.
Most rushes with 50+ yards is Emmitt Smith.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay, we still got another season. I'm just saying, in the modern time, Derrick Henry, because he's like a goddamn video game character, it just look unreal sometimes. Or can you just say he's probably the top 5 power runner all the time?
Oh, definitely.
Power back?
Definitely.
Yeah, he most definitely could say that.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, he's top 8, top 9. That's my opinion. I mean, goddamn, shit, man. Derrick Henry, man, he has a great year. Let's take this into consideration. Well, he's 31.
31, yeah.
Yeah. So, how old was Barry when he retired? 32, 33?
10 years, so I guess 32.
Yeah, okay. So, well, I'm like, yeah, they're going down the pipe. Hey.
32.
That really, he never really like a catcher out the backfield or whatever. As far as like physical, like fear, striking fear in people, man, shit. You know, you gotta talk about Shady. Shady was a great back. What about Chris Johnson? Come on, man. Because I like Chris Johnson was a legend. As far as like, we talk about Derrick Henry. I think he's top 8 all time.
I think Chris Johnson had a short peak, but I know what you mean.
Top 8 all time. He probably would have been up higher if he put the ball to the backfield more. But if you want a bell cow that strikes fear,
that's what I like. That's the type of running back I like.
You remember some of those games in Tennessee where Derrick Henry just like destroyed teams for like the entire second half?
Yeah.
You know.
He's got to be like top 8. Look how big he is and how his top speed when he get that first step on you is over. We ain't never seen nothing like that, yo.
Remember when he threw what's his name, Bruce? You remember when he threw Ramsey?
Yeah, that was
he just grabbed him and just threw him flying.
Terrible.
When you get to go on your corners, can't even check shorty.
While he was running like 20 miles an hour on the sideline.
Yeah,
so I think top 8, yeah, that's fair. But for all time, I truly believe Walter Payton was better than Barry. But that's just my opinion.
You believe Walter Payton was better than who?
I got Walter Payton number 1 over Sweet. I got Sweet as number 1 over Barry.
Oh wow, okay.
So, and Emmitt Smith was just benefited from that great offensive line. Me and you both could have ran for 1,500 on that line. Dallas, man.
Yeah, that line was vicious. That line was real serious.
All right, man. Go ahead and continue with the show, man. Jump back.
Hey, I appreciate the call, brother.
All right.
He said we could all ran for 1,500 behind.
I know, right? That line was crazy, though.
Yeah. And that's why they won Super Bowls, Bruce. You know, you got Troy Aikman, who's a good quarterback. You got Michael Irvin, who's a good wide receiver. You got, Alvin Harper, who's a good player. You had good players.
Jay Novacek.
but you had good players with a great line.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
There you go. Laker Nation, what up?
It's the Ready Sports Podcast.
My bad.
Die hard, bro.
Be ready, you guys. Stay ready. My fault. Be Ready Sports Podcast. Coach T, what's good?
Coach T.
What's good?
What up?
Man. Get this damn thing off my neck. When I was a kid, I used to say what y'all be saying about Emmitt Smith. But come on, let's be real, man. Y'all over here talking about it. You put me behind that offensive line, man. Y'all wouldn't even finish the game with 20 yards behind that.
Obviously, that's hyperbolic.
Here's the man. I've never seen a football player get punished because he did his job well. Emmitt closed out games. He got 4 and 5 yards down the field. Regardless, the offensive line wasn't getting 4 and 5 yards down the field. You had to open up the holes. He finished those runs.
Mm-hmm. So you got him as the best, Coach T?
He's taking first down, he was taking first down, second down, third down. Then the backup come in after the second move of the chain. The backup probably averaged 10, maybe got 10 carries a game. Emmitt carried that load. Y'all got to put more, man. Y'all got to put more. We got to get out of the nostalgia because, somebody can make all these fancy runs. Oh, they better than this guy because, he makes 1 or 2 cuts and gets upfield and not down there dancing with these defenders.
Okay, hold on. Let me just, I want to be clear here. Are you trying to say Emmitt Smith is better than Barry Sanders?
Yes.
Okay.
So what's your top 5? What's the order look like?
And let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. Before Barry bust that 180-yard run, how many times have he stalled his offense because they gave him the ball 3 and 4 times and he wasn't going anywhere? Let's be real.
Well, I mean, he does average 5 yards a carry for his career. So,
Coach T, he got
that one big run. 3 or 4 series down the road after their team is already getting smacked.
Coach T, Barry Sanders has 15. Coach T, Barry Sanders has 15 50-plus yard TD runs.
46 40-plus yard TD runs in 10 years.
The game's about finding pay dirt, and this guy's finding it on these long runs. I mean, he's not just getting through the line; he's breaking through the second and third level.
You guys are going through the cumulative stats that you're reading. You guys watch the game. You've seen him have games where he had 10, 11, 12 carries for minus 15 yards, and he breaks that one.
But what does that tell you, though?
You're saying one guy who stalls his offense out is better and more productive than the one guy who keeps his offense moving and wins games and wins titles.
To that point, why do you think that Barry Sanders had all that negative yardage?
We're talking about those big runs those 1 or 2 big runs he gets.
But hold on a second, Coach T. We know the names of the Dallas Cowboys linemen from Emmitt Smith era. We don't know the names of the linemen for the Detroit Lions in the 1990s. We don't know outside of Herman Moore. Who could you possibly name from the Lions wide receivers? Or do you remember the name of the quarterback for the Lions during the Barry era? I remember because I was a huge Lions fan. But I'm just saying, nobody knows those guys because those guys were average or below average. I'm not saying it's Barry's fault that he played with great players. I'm saying there was a clear reason why Emmitt got a chance to really reach his potential. I don't think Barry reached his potential. I think there was more meat on the bone.
There was definitely more meat on the bone. Yes. Yeah. He would have broke that record like the following year. In 11 years, he would have broke the rushing record. Emmitt Smith himself says, if Barry Sanders doesn't step away, we're looking at the 20,000-yard running back. Emmitt said that. Not me, not Snead. Emmitt said that.
And that's his contemporary. They were competing.
Yes.
I'm not saying Barry's not. I'm not saying Barry's not great, but you guys are being very disingenuous when it comes to Emmitt Smith.
What if we got him at number 2? Is that good enough, or are you still mad?
I'm not mad. I'm just saying, y'all, we got to be. Even though we don't like the Cowboys, we still got to be honest with ourselves.
Nobody said Emmitt Smith is.
I don't think this isn't about Cowboys.
He's leading. Yeah, he had a great offensive line. That's great. But if you put a shit back behind the offensive line, they're still not going anywhere. So a lot of it falls on his shoulder. Yeah, when I was a kid, I said exactly the same thing you guys are saying.
I can put a shit back behind a great offensive line. Look at Peyton Hillis. What was so great about him?
They're not going
offensive line. He had a huge year. He was on the Madden cover off of 1 year.
Not going anywhere. You can open up them holes with that crappy ass bag, ain't doing nothing with them. So, you can put everything around a player, but if they don't have the ability to capitalize on what's around them, then that player is garbage. He did capitalize. He's still the all-time leading rusher in yards, all-time leading rusher in rushing touchdowns for the league, and it's not even close.
Right. No, it's not. What he played 18 years, right?
He was getting TDs in Arizona at the end of his career. He kept playing.
No, that's cool, but it's not close. But he played 18 years. Okay, cool. He was able to keep himself in condition and avoid injury, which is a skill in of itself.
For a running back, you got to give respect to that.
That's exactly what I was just doing.
Is what?
I was just doing that. The point I'm trying to make is nobody's saying Emmitt Smith isn't a bum. What we're saying is if Barry Sanders has the benefit of that offensive line and those weapons,
Emmitt Smith is a
bum. Correct. No one's saying he's a bum.
He said nobody said Emmitt Smith isn't a bum.
No, nobody's saying he's a bum. But we're saying if you give Barry Sanders the benefit of all those other weapons and that O-line, good God. So when you're comparing Emmitt Smith, you're talking about.
I'm going to say what. Go ahead, your show.
No, we're just talking about when you comparing him with all the other all-time backs. That's what we're saying. If they had the benefit of what he had, good Lord. Think about if you put Adrian Peterson behind that line for however many years that Emmitt Smith played. LaDainian Tomlinson, right? There's a lot of dudes you put him behind that line. In terms of the all-time great backs, I think you're having similar or same results.
Coach T, can I do... Like if I rate the running backs on a 100-point rating system, like if I give Emmitt a 98 rating and I give Barry a 99, is that really a big deal? Because that's kind of what I'm doing, right? Like if I got Barry number 1 and I got Emmitt number 2, it's like 99 versus a 98.
I get it, but we got to be real still. We living in the hypotheticals, not hypotheticals, wrong word choice. But we're in a nostalgia because we remember those breakout runs that he's had and these all-time stats, but we forget the negative yardage. He has the most negative runs out of all these great running backs. Y'all cannot forget that.
If a guy's getting wrapped up 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage, what are we talking about?
Bad offensive linemen and all that. There's been plenty of running backs that are less talented than Barry Sanders, that have shitty lines, and they are not leading the league in negative rushing, negative yards from scrimmage every year that Barry Sanders was.
And yet Barry Sanders is still 4th all time on the rushing list and retired second.
But you can't gloss over that, Bruce.
Okay.
You gotta be 100%.
So the negative yards per rush is gonna ding him?
Say that again.
So this is new to me. I've never heard this before. We're notching Barry Sanders down because there were negative rushes.
Because you gotta hold. You gotta hold them accountable for the good and the bad. If you're putting them on the all-time list.
Hold on a second. He can't control. Coach T. He can't control the defensive line getting in past the lineman. He can't control that.
You're saying that he's the greatest running back ever.
Coach T, we got to agree to disagree on this so we can move on, man. You feel it's Emmitt. We say it's Barry. It is what it is. That's probably an argument that's going to go on till the end of time. But, I mean, it's all good. Appreciate the call, though, man.
Thanks.
We're gonna go ahead and get to this next topic. All right, brother. All right, let's go ahead and.
Ariel's my favorite, man. He's my favorite.
He's my goat.
Yeah.
I hate when people say that. My goat. Stupid expression. Anyway, all right. Let's take it here. You brought this up, Sneed. Do you want to open up? You want to open this up, man?
Yeah. All right, so Ty Lue is on the Club Shay Shay pod.
Yeah.
And
good talked about a lot.
Yeah, they talked about a lot. Ty, I get the impression that Ty Lue's a pretty honest dude. Like if you ask him, he's willing to tell you some things, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. I think he's willing to say. So he discloses that in the second stint in Cleveland for LeBron, there was the attempt to try to bring in Paul George to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right. So he says that, and I think we kind of already knew that this was a thing, but it's worth exploring as a topic because he so openly disclosed it. Like he's like, hell yeah, we tried to get PG.
I didn't recollect that was a thing. I
remember back then it was pretty like at the time. So we're talking about what, like 15, 16, 17 era. You got to remember that Paul George on the Indiana Pacers was resistance to the Miami Heat getting to the NBA Finals. So it was like Roy Hibbert and those guys. And yeah, here we go. Here's the footage right here. Paul George was a beast in terms of his skill, his abilities. I mean, he was an amazing player.
And offensively.
Yeah, he was a very good defender because he had the prototypical size, good motor, jumping out of the gym. Yeah. I thought his offensive game was pretty polished, actually. To me, he was a lot like a T-Mac offensively, wasn't he?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great analogy, like a T-Mac light. Yeah.
So, and his game over time, Bruce, got better, right? So it was like seasoning.
When he became a better shooter, yeah.
Yes, and then defensively, it was always there. So he never was lazy. I always saw him defending like the other team's better players. He came into the league like 6'3", and I think his after his first year in the league, he was like 6'9" or something. Yeah, so it was like this really unique physiology change. Like, oh, you're a forward now. Like, what the hell? Great speed, great scoring ability. Solid defender. He had a great overall game.
Yeah.
And then the Cavs win their championship. KD goes to the Warriors, and that's where I think this conversation comes into play. Is now. Like the Cavs are looking like, oh, we got to do something because but what we need to do, I think, is attack the fact that the stacking of teams, remember all the power players started. This goes back to the Miami Heat of 2010, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Which explains why the
generated. Let me make sure we say that before some people get in their feelings. Player generated. Which is not the same as organizational generated, but go ahead.
Yeah, and organizations don't typically have the draft capital or the financial flexibility to just take another team's number one, add to their number one, and take a third team's number one. Like this would be, so think about it like this, Bruce. If we compare the Miami Heat to Cleveland Cavaliers with Paul George, could they have brought in Paul George with Kyrie, Kevin Love, and LeBron? That's like, how do you even make that money work? I'm looking at the technicals.
I didn't think so until I heard what Ty Lue said about it, right? Because you would have assumed that maybe Kevin Love is involved in that trade, right? To get
somebody has to get moved, right?
You would think so, but at the end of the clip, which we'll hear in a second, Ty Lue mentions Kevin Love. So let's go ahead and play that real fast because I was surprised by that.
Did you guys try to trade for Paul George when you was in Cleveland?
Yeah, when he was in Indiana.
And why didn't it happen?
I don't remember.
Damn.
Yeah, we tried.
I don't remember.
PG, LeBron, and Kyrie.
Ooh.
He didn't want to say.
That might have been enough. That might have been enough to go back.
Yeah.
Because now you can throw LeBron. I mean, obviously you let PG start with him, and then you can have LeBron, but you still got guys. Now you got 3 guys that can really score the basketball. Yeah. LeBron, Kyrie, and PG.
And K-Love can score.
Yeah.
You see? And K-Love.
We tried.
Damn.
And K-Love.
So the goal was to bring in PG and add him to the other three.
So, like, come on, man. So this is where this gets problematic for me, right? How many times have you heard me talk about LeBron's unwillingness to compete? However great his career has been, it's for me, it's always going to be a ding. The fact that he consistently tried to stack the deck, I do not respect that. Let's hear what what Charles Barkley had to say about this. This is, I think, around 2016, 2017. I thought this was very interesting. Check this out.
Charles and LeBron, and I feel like I should do like they do on those TV shows and say previously on Inside the NBA. It all started 10 days ago. Cleveland gave up 70 first-half points, lost to the Pelicans playing without Anthony Davis. After the game, LeBron unloaded, saying he hoped the champion Cavaliers weren't satisfied as an organization, that the Cavs were not a better team than last year from a personnel standpoint. He said, when you don't have bodies, it's tough. We're top-heavy. It's me, Kyrie, and Kevin Love. We need a playmaker. I'm not singling anybody out, he said, but let's see if we can do something. Those comments from LeBron drew this response from Charles. LeBron James' comments were blank.
Inappropriate, whiny, all the above. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they have given him everything he wanted. They have the highest payroll in NBA history. He wanted J.R. Smith last summer. They paid him. He wanted Shumpert last summer. They bought in Kyle Korver. He's the best player in the world. Does he want all the good players? He don't want to compete?
Nope.
He is an amazing player. But this notion, they're the defending champs. And for him to be trying to hold anything over Dan Gilbert's head, and I love all these wild punk-ass reporters on television who's afraid to call LeBron. LeBron's a great player and a great guy. But this notion, he's got to have all the best players on his team. He's got Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. He want everybody. He don't want to compete. He want to be the favorite all the time.
Yes.
It just pisses me off that a guy that great don't want to compete.
Hey. I don't know what to tell you.
Clearly LeBron doesn't fit the Charles Barkley mold.
No.
Like in terms of like the prototypical star player who carries and those kind of things. Like that's what this is about. Charles is basically saying, like, this deserves scrutiny. So and Charles is saying, like, this is not okay. But I'm telling you, Bruce, this goes back to the Heat days where it became normalized. Yeah,
absolutely. See, it's so funny. And, people talk about, and I've said this multiple times, KD, he went to a team that he lost to after coming back 1-3. No doubt. He shouldn't have done that. That was terrible. But I keep saying he doesn't do that if LeBron doesn't make it okay with his decision. Is it the same thing? No, it's not the same thing. So I'm not saying that. But if he doesn't make it okay to team up, KD doesn't make that move, right? Because we know he's not a free thinker. He's not an independent guy, right? He's he's kind of a follower type, right? So that is what that is. So at the end of the day, like, it's just sad. But to hear Charles Barkley, one of the all-time greats, a guy who played in arguably the greatest era and played against some of the greatest to ever do it, I mean, he's got a point. Like, does he want all the good players? He doesn't want to compete. And we see that. We see it year in and year out. Like, at every turn, he doesn't. And in fairness, it's not just LeBron. Like, we hear these Golden State rumors, right? And again, KD going to Golden State. Apparently, Steph doesn't want to compete either because that's his team, and he's going to allow KD to go there instead of strapping up and running it back with his guys against LeBron's guys. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. Why did you have to bring in the nuclear weapon? Because you didn't want to compete. Now, in fairness, you felt like the league screwed you, so you said, okay, we're going to screw you back. But still, I don't like the fact that Steph didn't want to compete. And if Steph is I doubt it's going to happen, but if LeBron ends up in Golden State, that's another example of Steph not wanting to compete. We talked about that. It's disgusting, the mentality of these guys nowadays. Like, you guys are supposed to be, some of the best players who've ever done it. Part of that is wanting to beat your competition and your opposition to prove that you are the best. How can you do that if you're teaming up with them? I don't understand that. I don't. Okay.
The one thing I can say about LeBron in his career, like, he always wanted to win. Like, clearly he wants to win badly. He's like, I don't care how we do this. Let's get so much more. Let's get more players who could do more. Like he wants to win. So Bruce, it's you bring up competition. He wants to compete. He wants the edge, is what he wants. You know what I'm saying? Like if there was a game, let's call it a video game.
Okay.
And you're allowed to have 100 bullets.
Okay.
LeBron would love to have 110. He could put in a code and get an extra 10 bullets. Like that's kind of how I'm viewing it. He wants to make sure when he gets to the finals, everything is there. You know what I'm saying? Chuck's obviously, he's looking at it like it's not fitting his mold of the competitor.
Mm-hmm.
Is
it fitting the mold of the competitor of any of the great players of the past, though? Really?
Well, it's different, right? So that's valid. It's different. It looks different than what we saw previously.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're comparing players, you're like, well, this guy did it like this, or this team did it like this, and
well, isn't there more value in Sneed? You're an educator. I know it's not apples to apples, right? But if let's say you taught English. I know you don't teach English, but let's say you taught English, and your student Bruce wrote a paper, and I got an A, right? And then your student Transformer wrote a paper, but his dad, who is a journalist, wrote half the paper for him, right? And he got an A. Is that A the same?
It's not.
Is it the same, A, Sneed?
It's not.
The letter A's at the top of the paper may look the same.
Given those conditions,
it
is not the same.
You see what I'm saying? So I understand. It's the same thing like when John Stockton, who admittedly never won anything, right? But talks about, hey, when we lost to the Bulls, we said we have to get tougher, we have to get better, we have to fight, and we have to come back. And again, they lost to the Bulls because, Michael Jordan. But he talks about that, and then he says, LeBron, we tried to fight and climb the mountain. He took the helicopter to the top. I don't understand why people don't see the difference here. At the end of the day, will history see the same end result? Michael has rings, LeBron has rings. Kobe has rings, LeBron has rings. LeBron has more rings than Larry Bird. LeBron has one less ring than Magic Johnson, but he's up there, right? But how things happen, I don't understand why that doesn't matter. Yeah, at the end of the day, the world is results oriented, but how you got these results, man, they matter.
Well, those are the nuances that people argue. That's where the conversations are had. They're about the nuances, those tiny things.
Right.
Because if it's just a conversation about winning championships, then that's easy. We can quantify that. This guy won 4, this guy won 4, 3, 5, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a very nuanced thing. And these are subjective conversations. It's really, really muddy.
I don't understand why though.
Well, it's muddy because every era takes on a different persona, like in terms of like how the league is like behaving.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So like there's going to be people that tell you that the Miami Heat thing, the Boston Celtics thing, the Warriors thing, like that's this era. That's how we characterize the 2000s, 2010s. So everything within that era is normalized.
Here we go.
It didn't look like that in the previous eras, right?
Look who's here. Jeez. But we both know the A is not the same Transformer. You know that. And that's what we're saying. The nuance. We both know it's not actually the same. But go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. And like Charles Barkley is from a different era where I mean, you didn't have players constructing teams. Like was there any of that happening? I don't think so. Not that I've never heard anybody speak on it.
No.
Okay, so I'm just double checking. Like I don't know. Maybe sometimes people know things that I don't know. I don't know.
But what we have heard are all-time greats from that era saying they had the opportunity to team up and they didn't because they wanted to compete and beat that person. We've heard
this
that.
This is what I'm trying to say, Bruce, is like I don't have a problem with LeBron wanting to win so badly. I'm okay with people wanting to win really like that's a great trait. I want to win. Like who signs up to lose? Like I get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think the nuance here is that not everybody is with the methodology.
No, I think it definitely matters. I definitely think it matters. So to Young Disciple, no, Kevin Love wasn't a superstar, right? But what was he averaging? 26 and 14 the year before he went to Cleveland. Like he was a problem, right?
Kevin Love.
He was
Kevin
all
Love.
NBA.
Yeah, Kevin Love was him. He was he was literally like
he was putting
he had MVP votes. He did. He had MVP votes. He was all NBA.
Yes.
He was a multi-time all-star.
Right.
He was reaching his peak. Like he was a legit stretch big.
Right.
This was a guy who had games where he had 20 plus rebounds a game. Like that happened on multiple occasions.
Yes.
And then those same games he had 30 plus. You know, so this is not a question about ability. Like Kevin Love was one of the most productive players of his era.
So this is funny. Young Disciple is trying to now kind of move the goalposts and say, well, Kevin Love wasn't a superstar, but it doesn't matter. Let's say he didn't have to be a superstar, but the fact is this: if he wasn't what he was, is LeBron trading away guys to bring him? Right?
We're making it more subjective now. You're making it worse. Now you're making it even harder to drive this point home. The more subjective you make it, the more complicated it is, the less definitive these conversations are. Like you cannot discredit and disrespect great players to fit narratives. These guys were standalone, the best players on their teams. MVP votes means what, Bruce? What did people think of him?
That you were worthy of being the best player in the league that year.
In a conference that had KG in his prime?
Right. That's a great point. Wow. Yeah.
In a conference that had Tim Duncan?
Yep.
So there were these bigs that created this. Everybody knows who they are and what they did. And now I got the next generation of guy in Kevin Love who's doing numbers like that.
Really, Bruce? Really? Don't be dishonest, bro. Don't be dishonest, because he set up the trade to Minnesota for sending what's his name?
Did
number
Kevin
one.
Love demand a trade? I never heard that.
No, Bruce is just making stuff up. This is remember when LeBron was going back to Cleveland, he's the one that set up that trade for Andrew Wiggins to go to Minnesota to bring Kevin Love to Cleveland. Yeah. Oh boy. But anyway, the whole point is if LeBron didn't think Kyrie was special, he would have got him out of there too. We know that.
Actually, I have a firm belief, Bruce. I really believe this. They say that LeBron, when Kyrie was traded, was like devastated. They said when they delivered the message to him that he was like dead silent for like an hour. Like he didn't speak to anybody, he didn't move.
But
because he didn't trade Kyrie. That's why he was devastated. He wanted to be the one to trade Kyrie and get certain packs. He knew what. I guarantee you, the only thing LeBron really thought about was what did we get for Kyrie?
Okay, because I was about to say he was the one that had initiated the whole Kyrie getting traded thing.
Yeah, so like if they would have returned,
he was trying to get up out of there.
If they would have returned better value than Kyrie, which doesn't happen in the NBA. When you trade stars, you don't get $1 back for $1.
No, you don't.
You get 50 cents on the dollar.
Right.
Let's say they got a huge haul that helped LeBron win right away. I don't think he would have been upset. If they would have brought 2 all-star players back for Kyrie, he would have. It would be cool.
Right. Yeah, it's at the end of the day, I'm like, just to think that, okay, you're like, when is it enough for you? When is it enough for you being LeBron? Like, you always trying to, and then even beyond that, he and Rich Paul are out here when they're doing interviews trying to front and make people believe that they have nothing to do with these front office moves. I'm like, are we serious? Are we serious? So,
Again, I don't have a problem with LeBron wanting to win badly. That's not a bad thing. That's a great thing.
And be honest about it. Stop fronting. How about that? Just be honest about it then.
I think we could all appreciate that.
That's not going to happen. So,
I mean, the team, it would be if somehow they were able to keep Kevin Love. I don't know how you do that.
I have no idea.
Kevin Love, Paul George, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James. One ball. Still, there's one ball in the sport.
Right.
So Kevin Love goes from 12 field goal attempts to 7?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because his scoring obviously went way down. Not way down, but considerably down.
Well, his field goal attempts go down.
Right.
So now you're in
expected, right? He can't
only time
to get 20 shots a game.
So I'm as a Cleveland fan, I watched every game, every minute. I mean, I was all in on these teams. I used to see like Kevin Love coming in when he would stay in the game and Kyrie and LeBron would go to the bench. He was the primary scoring option. Instantly they brought the ball into the post. Kevin Love would work.
Yeah.
He'd get the free throw attempts because he'd get hacked. They would work off of him offensively.
Well, it
would be the old Kevin Love from the Minnesota days.
Yeah. Well, we know that LeBron doesn't play well with bigs on the block. That's why he's always
it becomes a space-oriented offense, right?
And he's admitted that. He's admitted that.
Yeah, he said it himself. Yeah,
off the Mack truck lane and making Chris Bosh go work that corner three.
Yeah. And I always found it ironic that the way to fix the Miami Heat offense, which is supposed to be centered around LeBron, but the way to fix it was to put more onus on other people. That's kind of crazy to think about it. Like Spo fixed the offense by making Chris Bosh a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
And then remember, so you mentioned the taping of the paint. You stay out of here, right?
Yeah, correct.
Like, how about LeBron improve his shooting?
What? You gonna tell him to do something?
I mean, how about that? Like, let's do that too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like we're telling Chris Bosh, you got to come into this season and you got to start shooting the three better. But why can't we also fix the real issue here? Is that LeBron's jump shooting could improve. I'm not saying he was awful. Right. I'm saying if you improve that, you make yourself more reliable from the outside. And that now the defense has to respect it. Like we saw this with players. When players got better, they became more reliable in more ways. Offensively, I'm speaking to.
No. Of course. But I get it. But back to the Paul George piece. When it comes down to it, it's just amazing to me. And what's the other thing just occurred to me, right? If you bring in Paul George and you're LeBron, that means you got to play less defense because Paul George was an elite wing defender. So even though they were saying that, prime LeBron was a great defender, which, again, you can't make me believe that because I've seen him get done up too many times by too many guys. But that's a whole different thing. But if you bring in Paul George, you can put the defensive assignments on him. So
yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, you could split time. It gives you optionality. I mean, that's what this is really about. When you have more players who could do things at a high level, it gives you optionality. So like during the LA Clippers a couple years ago, watching the playoffs, I remember it was Paul George and Kawhi Leonard doing primary defensive, back and forth.
Yeah, no, that works. That definitely works. All right, but let's go ahead and let's open it up. I'm sure we might get a couple calls on this one. Let's go ahead and 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. Let's go.
Yeah, I would say that LeBron's defense really leveled up. Like at the end of that first Cleveland stint, it was he really had these amazing plays, like reading passing lanes. He would make amazing plays. The chase down blocks were always amazing. I mean, there were moments like LeBron has very definitive, amazing defensive plays. That did happen.
Chief, what's going on, man?
What's going on, my brother?
How you doing?
Long live the Chief. What up, Chief?
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Salam, Chief. What up, bro?
Nothing much. I really think that that was pretty much that Paul George trade was pretty much a good idea for the Cavs, and I'm kind of going with you, Steve, because as a Cavs fan, you would want them to win.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And look at it this way. At the time when LeBron said, we're top heavy, is what? You got 4 All-Stars. The only way you're going to win is the arms race. I think LeBron got enough IQ to figure that out. I don't think it was the lack of competing. But sometimes when you start thinking, is this really going to work out? Yo, Bruce.
I'm here. I was listening to you.
Yeah, we're listening. Go ahead, Sid.
I
Was that it? You breaking up, Chief. Having a hard time hearing you.
Okay, hold on. Hold up. All right. Hello?
Yeah, there we go. Okay, go ahead, man.
Okay, yeah. This was my partner. Yeah, no, but I was pretty much thinking that would have been interesting, but in 2018, I still don't think that team without Kyrie would beat Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
They were just too low. They weren't beating KD. Now, 2017, it would have been a toss-up. I give the Cavs a Game 7 toss-up. I think they could have took. I think they could have took them down. I would have just liked to see what happened in the Battle of the Titans. What you think, Bruce?
No, I think that's fair enough. I think this whole thing, realistically, it does bother me that Steph, being the leader of his team in Golden State after 2016, he didn't bring his guys together, strap up, and say, "Yo, let's run it back. We can beat these guys." Because he should have said, like, "Listen, if not for Bogut getting hurt and if not for Draymond's suspension, this thing is done in 5. We can beat these guys." But I always get on LeBron, but now it's time to get on Steph. Pause. He punked out too. He should have said, "Yo, let's run it back and let's show these guys we could beat them." Instead, he goes and he grabs a nuclear weapon, and you saw
Bruce,
what happened.
maybe he didn't believe that. Maybe he really thought we do need something else to beat LeBron.
You might be right, Sneed. My thought has always been he felt like the league screwed him, so he said we're going to screw the league back. That's my thought.
Maybe
I could be wrong, but that's my thought. But yeah, you got anything else, Chief?
Right, but to me, it was more or less like it's this generational psychological thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think instead of like you saying going out to compete, we gonna man up, we win, we lose.
Right.
Everybody's thinking about marketing, legacy, and everything instead of playing. I see where you're coming from, Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Like Martin says, But I think that's the thing about it. Instead of just competing, guys are worried about legacy and all other wrong stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If they focused in on the game, it'd been different.
Right. Agreed.
All right. But that's about all I got, fellas.
All right, Chief. I appreciate the call, my brother. Thank you so much for supporting, man.
All right, no problem. All right, Steve.
Take care, brother. Appreciate you, man. Take it easy.
All right, shukran.
Afwan. Yes, sir.
Mashallah. All right, man. My man, Chief.
Man. Long live the Chief, bro.
That's right. Long live the Chief. Oh, man. About time you criticize Curry because I never heard you. See, yo, real talk, Edward, you listen for what you want to listen for. Because there's a lot of stuff you say you never heard that I've said multiple times on this show. You listen for what you want to listen for, but that's
Bruce,
okay.
Who can't be criticized, right? So like
right.
Steph, I can criticize Kobe. I can criticize LeBron. Right. I can criticize T-Mac. I can criticize Shaq. I can criticize D Wade. There's a lot of criticism that can go around season to season.
They only hear if you criticize LeBron. They only hear that. Seriously. You can be as objective as you want to be and down the line as you want to be. But as soon as you say something about their boo, they lose it.
I can criticize Paul Pierce. I can criticize all of them.
They're not hearing any of that, Sneed. Real talk. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I've been at this for a while. and you can say positive things about LeBron. They won't hear that. I've said multiple times, LeBron is arguably the greatest Game 7 performer ever. I've said multiple times, LeBron has had one of the greatest careers in NBA history. They don't hear that. They don't hear that. They only hear if you hating. Edward, what's up, man? Long live young Dolph.
Hold on.
Yo. What up, man? What up?
Yo, Bruce. Peace guard, bro. I'm the peace guard right now. I took the Tylenol. I'm coming in with peace, all right? I'm not going to do that right now, you see. I'm coming in with positive energy.
I appreciate it.
Okay?
He's at Lowe's, not at Home Depot.
Bro, no, I'm not. Actually, I'm in the bed right now. You know what I'm saying? I had a bad headache from
Pause.
Bro,
You in the bed calling another man? What's going on here, man?
Bro. Hey, yo, dude, y'all is really flipping out right now, man. Y'all need to chill out. Hey, y'all need to chill out. Hey, you talking about open? Hey, Bruce, you talking about open up the phone lines? You know?
Yeah, the phone lines. Yeah, open up the phone lines. Right.
Yeah, it's the way you said it though. But look, hey, Sneed, I forgot to say this yesterday. Bruce, Sneed, don't you ever compare Birdman to Young Dolph ever again in your time in life, bro.
Yo,
don't you ever do that no more.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that,
Let's
bro.
move on. Peace,
Hey,
God.
real talk, Edward. One quick
God.
question, man. One
I'm
quick
the
question.
peace God.
Are you
Peace
related
God.
to Young Dolph? No, I'm so serious.
Man,
Are you related to him?
Nothing to do about relations, bro.
No, I just want to know.
And you're not related to Big Pun or his son, Bruce. Come on, y'all. Let's move on, bro.
Hey, listen, I don't get in my feelings like you get your feelings about Dolph. But anyway.
Hey, but you got but you rub honey all over yourself a dream when I say something about him. Let's move on.
I just correct you and tell the truth. But go ahead, man.
Right. Okay. The same with Murray too. Now, anyway, let's move on. Again. Now, Bruce, I heard you love throwing these slick jabs.
What you talking about, man? What slick jabs, Edward?
Bruce, you know what slick jab I'm talking about when it comes to LeBron trying to stack teams up and all that kind of stuff. Then you want to play some old stuff that Charles Barkley played. And we really listen to what Charles Barkley talk about, bro. Really? Charles Barkley?
Why not? Does he not know what he's... Let me make sure I understand. Do you think he doesn't know what he's talking about when he talks about basketball?
When it comes to
that's
being
yes
a
or no?
Hypocrite, yeah. When he's been a hypocrite, absolutely. Hey, yeah.
Okay.
He's a hypocrite.
Because
Straight
you
up,
say
man.
so?
Nah, because, man, the evidence out there says so, man.
You like evidence now. Okay.
Bruce, I've been showing, Bruce, it started all before even LeBron and KD did it, man.
Mm-hmm,
and then, but what I'm saying is, man, this man he flew to Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Did he not do that?
Yeah, he did.
What did he try to do when he went to Portland?
He talked to the GM.
What year was that?
About what?
About the roster. Because the
what
GM
year was
that? About the roster. That was, I want to say, like 90 or 91.
So this is pre-Phoenix.
This is pre-Phoenix. This is, I think, after Portland lost in the finals to the Bulls.
Oh, so 92, 93-ish?
91.
Was he trying to join a team that just come from the championship?
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Come on.
Do you?
Okay. So what's the purpose of going to talk to a GM for then, bro?
Do you know?
Come on, man.
I don't know. Bro. I wasn't there.
Man,
do you know?
Man, you know what, man? You never criticized the old era for doing what this previous era did, bro. Come on, man.
Wait. So hold on. So what you're saying is you believe that Charles Barkley colluded with other players that were playing at the same time, other superstars to join up and make a team? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, hey, he was
is that what you're saying?
I've never heard that before.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He tried to join with the Portland Trailblazers, Bruce. Ain't no point. Why I'm gonna go up there and talk to the GM for Portland for?
You got to ask Charles Barkley. I don't know.
Yeah, but he went to Phoenix. Like, what are we saying right now?
I don't know.
Because they did not get a player that he wanted to go to Portland. That's why he didn't go to Portland. Then now that I just love the fact
that's
that
not actually true, but okay.
I just love how the fact that, man, Charles Barkley did not just join another team that was a top of the seat out there. But
hey,
anyway,
so wait. Tell me, no. Hold on, it's my show. Who are the superstars on that team, Edward? On Phoenix, let me know. Who are the superstars on Phoenix, Edward? Tell me.
Bruce, the point of the matter
no,
is
no, ma'am. Shout out to Great KS.
Hey, yo, hold on, dog. Wait a minute. Hey,
no,
bro,
seriously. Who are the superstars on that team? I'm curious to know.
I'm not going to sit here and say it was no superstars. There wasn't another top 75 player on that team. But however, they was a number 1 and 2 seed of the Western Conference, bro. They was a top 5 seed. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is joining a good team when he got traded there, didn't orchestrate it, but got traded there. So joining a good team, is that the same? Is that the same? Edward, let me finish. Is that the same as orchestrating a super team to avoid competition? Is that the same thing? Is that the same thing, Edward?
Man,
Edward, I need you to answer my question, my brother. I need you to answer my question.
Dog, I already answered your question, bro. We do not know. I'm gonna say we do not know, but I do.
Oh,
know
now we do not know. But you know that he went to Portland and did this and that.
We know players back in the day actually requested for trades and all that stuff.
Hey, Sneak, can I ask you something, brother?
Yes, sir.
Is requesting a trade the same as forcing your way out?
Of course not.
Okay, just checking. I'll just check
Hakeem
it out.
Olajuwon did it. Hakeem Olajuwon did it. Moses Malone did
He
it.
asked for a trade, but he still was with the Rockets 10 years later. So what did Hakeem Olajuwon do? Tell me what he did. Tell me what he did. You just said Hakeem Olajuwon did it. So what did he do?
I mean, not Hakeem Olajuwon. No, he had faked the injury. He had a bad back or something like that. But
now
I wouldn't talk about.
So now you know that he faked an injury.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it, and Moses Malone did the same thing. This stuff's been going on, but
Edward,
about
you keep saying the same thing, but repeating the same lie doesn't make it true. Requesting a championship is not forcing your way out. It's not. It's not the same thing. It's not. And you have no evidence. You have no evidence to say that Dream faked an injury. So try that one again.
I didn't say that, bro.
That's what you just finished saying.
Let's talk about.
You said he faked the back injury, right? You just finished saying that, correct?
You had it too. Bruce.
No. You just finished saying that, right?
Let me repeat it. Let me rephrase that, sir.
Okay, now you want to rephrase it. Yeah, let's hear that.
Okay. There was reports out there he was trying to fake an injury to get traded.
So, okay. All right. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm going to let you land this plane because you think that repeating the same lie makes it true.
I mean, how would it... What's going on? You have a problem with that also, Bruce?
With what?
That he's trying to get PG to come play over there with the Cavs and all that.
Absolutely. We talked about this.
You have an issue with that?
Yes, I do.
Hello?
Yes, I said yes, I do have a problem with it. Oh, his call dropped. All right, Sneed. What do you think about what Edward had to say?
I mean, I don't really follow his process that much. I don't really get it. I think he's always looking for a way to make everything about then and now. You know, that kind of seems to be his MO. He's always looking at it like we can't, view the eras accurately. It's like he acts like we're trying to protect the decades of the past, saying that they're perfect.
Right.
But really, this is just, at least from what I see based on your position, you're questioning the competitive nature of these kind of moves and of these kind of attempts.
Right. Absolutely.
I understand your position. Whether people agree or disagree with it doesn't matter. I understand your position. He's saying that Ed's saying that they were doing this before too. But why don't you have smoke for them?
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. Be Ready Sports Podcast.
There you go. Yeah.
You had to stutter.
It took me a second. I was about to say Laker Nation. You know what? I need to change that on my phone. Man. What's up, Be Ready Sports, Coach T?
Yeah, I got to change my membership over to the Be Ready Sports Podcast. So I'm gonna be starting back from zero.
All good.
So I'm trying to refresh my memory here because you're pissing off your chat right now.
That's okay.
I'm trying to figure out you were talking about PG and how did we end up arguing about Barkley?
Because it was I played
from my understanding with Philadelphia, he was having issues with Moses Malone and whatnot. So refresh my memory on what happened in Philly.
No, so real quick, how it ended up on Barkley, it started because I played that clip with Barkley criticizing LeBron, saying, does he want all the good players? And then Edward said, Barkley is a hypocrite, And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And then so Edward Edward, he has difficulty and he's constantly conflating requesting a trade with trying to force your way out. And I'm trying to tell him that's not the same thing. Because back then you could request a trade, and if they didn't trade you, then they didn't trade you. You was either going to play or not get paid, right? So there's a difference between what guys do now in terms of becoming a malcontent, being difficult for the team and the organization, and forcing your way out versus requesting a trade. That's two different things. Back then, I think guys were a little more professional.
Well, Barkley had his ways. We all know that he was immature at times in his playing days. Yeah. Hey, Lil Sneed. I don't know your name, but I'm gonna say, hey, Lil Sneed.
She's a cutie.
This is Yara. This is the youngest, the newest edition.
He just staring at the camera like land the plane. Hey, Will Smith.
Oh man. But yeah, so
okay, so I understand now. It's just anytime somebody criticizes LeBron, they got to tackle. So I get it. So I get that part.
Right. So I mean, that's all it was.
But let me get this. So we're referring to PG back in. I haven't been paying attention to this. So you're talking about PG back when it's Indiana Pacer days.
Yes.
About trying to team up with he who should not be named back then.
Right.
And but at that time, I remember him saying that he was trying to force his way to the Lakers.
I didn't hear that one.
Well, he was trying to
makes sense though. He's a Cali guy, so it makes sense.
Yeah, because he was talking about if he would have played out his contract.
Mm-hmm.
I think he said this on his podcast that he would have played out his contract. He was going to try to get his way out to the Lakers. So basically, what would have happened is if he would have went to the Lakers, they would have been condemning Kobe like you guys are condemning LeBron James.
Oh man, we don't even want to bring up Kobe. God bless the dead for the Mamba because certain people are going to go into attack mode. So no, I'm with you. I'm just saying. What happens when you bring up Kobe around LeBron fans? So
I'll destroy all of them. So it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna. But that's not the thing. But I remember him saying that before he got traded. If he would never got traded, his preferred destination was to Los Angeles. So like this is news to me about him being ecstatic about the possibility of playing with LeBron James. Because from my understanding, he wanted to play out his contract and go back to LA and play for the Lakers. And he tried to do that twice. But
is that like a well-known thing, Coach?
Huh?
Is that well-known? Like that's most people would know that?
I believe he said it on his podcast.
Okay, got you.
That was recently. He said it on his podcast that he wanted to come to LA if he wouldn't have never got traded, but he got traded first. So it never happened. So the second time, when he left Oklahoma City, he wanted to come to LA anyway. The Lakers was going to be the number one destination, but then he ended up getting excited about playing with Kawhi, and then they ended up going to the Clippers. So I remember that.
I think his best season was in OKC. Best season of his career.
I think the first time he got traded, he was to OKC when he played with Westbrook.
Yeah.
But I got a question for you, Bruce.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Before I get off the phone, because I don't have too much to say about he who should not be named. I was arguing. Somebody was arguing with me about the stat padding thing, and so I was like, okay, name somebody who you think who's a stat patter over he who should not be named.
James Harden.
And they said. He said James Harden and Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, Westbrook.
And I told him, I give you James Harden, but Westbrook play style, those triple doubles he averaged and close to it is legitimate because he plays all over the place. So he plays electric. So I wouldn't say he was notoriously out there trying to stat pad. I just that's the way he plays. He's all over the place. And he just get those stats. But we agreed to disagree. So that was the only thing I have to say about that.
No doubt.
Last thing, this whole Kyrie's not a superstar thing. I don't know where that's come from. The next generation love Kyrie. I know because of his political statement, he's been blackballed in the NBA, but that doesn't change the fact that multi-all-star. He should have more all-star appearances, but saying that he's not an all-star is disingenuous. Then I goes with K Love. I remember I'm just saying this because I know you guys talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a person in the league that has won two titles,
mm-hmm.
whose cumulative stats were less than K Love, had similar All-Star appearances,
mm-hmm.
and is in the Hall of Fame now, and got his jersey retired. And that was just as skilled as K Love, and K Love put up better numbers in his prime when he was a number one guy versus this other guy when he was a number one guy on his team before he was traded to a superstar. And that guy is Paul Gasol.
I knew you were gonna say Gasol. Yeah.
So
wait, are you trying to use ration and logic with LeBron fans? You know you can't do that. Come on, man.
I'm talking to you, Bruce. I'm talking to you, Bruce.
My bad.
I'm not talking.
I got you.
K Love is one of the most well-rounded NBA players of the last 25 years.
So this is just to everybody that said he's not going to be a Hall of Famer. When you got guys on here had a similar career, he put up better numbers than them.
Mm-hmm.
Similar All-Star, same amount of titles. So he's not going to get in, but they did.
So I agree with you. Be ready.
But he played with the so-called he played with the guy that everybody says is in the conversation with the GOAT, and he's not going to get in the Hall of Fame. But the guy that played with the superstar that slandered more than anybody is in the Hall of Fame.
So here's the deal. This is what I got to say.
And he's not going to get in.
So be ready. Here's the deal. This is what I got to say. There's a very particular pattern of events that takes place with LeBron's teammates, and what that is they have to be denigrated because by denigrating them, they believe that it makes LeBron look greater by carrying bad players around him. That's that's the pattern of events that takes place. But, it is what it is. But let's go ahead and land this plane. I got one more call to take. Bruce is calling, and then we'll get to the next topic. But
I love. Speaking of Bruce, I love that he used the terminology that I had to set him straight on when we came to this little Jordan thing when he mentioned Tex Winters. When I had to mention that to him,
mm-hmm.
what are you talking about? Phil Jackson,
mm-hmm.
the one that brought the triangle offense to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I had to correct him on that.
No doubt.
But great show.
I appreciate it, brother.
Looking forward to the last topic when you talk about these Giants quarterbacks, and I think Mr. Dart is going to turn heads this year.
We'll see.
I think he's going to be better than what we give credit for. But I'll wait till that topic.
No doubt. Let me take this call, Coach T. I appreciate you, man.
All right.
I'm mad Jackson Dart ends up being ready to go. I'm mad.
We'll find out.
We'll get the camera. We'll get the camera panning around.
Right.
Hey, man.
Yes.
Hey, man.
What up, Bruce?
I'm speaking for me and my guy YD, the Stupid. Me and my man YD, right? The Stupid, right? Listen, man. Why are we busting them? Even though, okay, I guess, Ty Lucy up the beans on Club Shay. I mean, I'm getting sick of all these coaches and these damn athletes talking too goddamn much on these damn podcasts.
Bruce, didn't I say, Bruce, that all I'm doing is sitting back and watching myself get proven right at every turn? All this, wait. So let me, Ty Lue's a hater too, right? He an old head hater, isn't he?
No, I like Ty. Ty Lue a solid dude.
No. He got to be a hater because when I say this stuff, I'm a hater. So he got to be a hater too because he told the truth. So he's a hater, right? I want to make sure that we got this. So we on the same. I want to make sure we on the same channel with this. So he's a hater, right?
Yeah, hater.
Okay, just checking. All right, cool. Go ahead.
Why are we busting LeBron balls for something that happened 9 years ago?
Because it's the premise that if you go back, so much of this stuff with him is a farce. That's why. And it's all getting exposed. It's the same stuff I've been saying for years.
Let me ask you something, bro. Hey, listen, I don't see enough. I get what Barkley said. Which, you want to be competitive. You don't want to have your team loaded from top to bottom to make it work. But hey, on the flip side, of my perspective, What is wrong with wanting to play with other guys? Like, what do you mean?
Look, man, you know how I feel about this. You clearly see it differently. It's all good.
Bro,
it's all good.
It's more talent. It's more talent now than it was in the 90s. Can you agree to that?
It's what?
More talent.
No, we cannot agree to that. No, it's a damn lie. No, we can't agree to that. No.
Okay.
Nope.
So, okay, so what's wrong with LeBron wanting to team up, man, with the guys, man? What's wrong?
Look, man, if you are what you say you are, you don't need to stack the deck and avoid competition. Plain and simple.
Bro,
I don't know why that's so hard to understand.
It's a lot to understand. It was broke. Why not fix it? When he was playing with Sasha Pavlovich, Ilgauskas, and all these guys,
Do you know Ilgauskas was an all-star before LeBron came into the league? And he was an all-star with LeBron. So stop it. We got to chill with the false narratives, bro. Stop it.
I remember the Cavs team.
Now we moved the goalpost.
I remember the Cavs team being all like an amazing, like top 3, top 5, top 2 defense all those years.
Only good centers back then were what? Baby Pat and Alonzo in the East.
Smith.
Why are you downplaying the great players of an era?
Because that's what they do. That's what they have to do that to lift LeBron up. That's how it works,
was the damn all-star by the fucking default because they had nobody else to pick.
You can't sit here and tell me on one hand LeBron carried bad teams and he had no teammates when we're acknowledging that he had all-stars.
I'm not saying he didn't have no teammates, brother. All I'm saying is, he had Gossip. Who else he had on that team? Okay, who else?
But I'm not going down Cleveland's roster with you. What's up, man?
Young
disciple waiting to get in here, man.
Listen, brother, I get what you're saying. Truthfully, if I believe I like the '90s mentality where you want to beat guys. You know, you want to go against the best. Mm-hmm. But hey, in modern times, it's called evolution. You it's like AAU basketball. You play with the best guys. You get it done, and I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Okay, you don't see nothing wrong with it. I do. What's the problem?
There's nothing wrong with it, brother. You still got to compete and win.
Okay, there you go. You don't disagree with it. I disagree with it.
How good was Cleveland? How good was Cleveland for the second step before LeBron came back? Kyrie is not a leader.
Wait a minute. Hold on, because y'all like to do that, man. I'm really not trying to go down this damn rabbit hole, but y'all like to play that disingenuous game of how good was Cleveland after LeBron left. First of all, they fired the coach trying to keep LeBron. That's one. And then if you look at the roster change, LeBron's final year there in his first stint versus his the first year after LeBron left, look at that roster. That's not the same team. That's not the same coach. So we can't say, oh, well, LeBron left and Cleveland went in the toilet. And when Michael Jordan left, the Bulls still won 55 games. No, it's not the same thing. Because I know that's how y'all move, and I know that's where you're going next. All right, but
that is true. Scotty gave it 65 games.
It's not, but that was the same team with the same coaching staff and the same system in place, minus Michael Jordan. With LeBron, there never is a system. There never is any roster continuity, and there's not coaching continuity. You know that. I know that. Stop being disingenuous, bro. Cut it out, man.
So what happened to Miami after LeBron left? What happened to Cleveland the second step? Everybody fell off after LeBron leaves.
The same thing happened in Cleveland. Only reason Miami was able to recover as quickly as it did was because they were able to keep coaching continuity and front office continuity with Pat Riley. Pat Riley didn't let LeBron run the whole thing, so it didn't go completely into the toilet when he left. It still took about 3 years for them to come back to a level of normalcy, but it worked out a lot faster. But listen, Bruce, man, I don't mean to cut you off. I really want to take Young Disciples' call before we go to this next topic, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
I really don't like it when people shit on players, bro.
Yeah.
I really don't like it. There are great players who take reduced roles in order to achieve team success, and they get disrespected, and they get downplayed, and they get. It's like complete disenchantment. Like, these guys were doing great things before, during, and after.
Mm-hmm.
Why downgrade them? Like, could you imagine being that player and being like, I did the best job I could every single time I went out to play, but now all of a sudden I suck?
Yeah.
How is this possible?
Yeah. Young Disciple, what's good, brother?
Man, say that. I tell old dude to cry me a river. Nigga, we ain't trying to hear all that, bro. Y'all always, hey, bro, y'all always want to get feelings and learn empathy when it's any player, nigga. I'm saying besides LeBron. Now, what we gonna do is, bro, we gonna hold everybody to the same shit. Nigga, the same way y'all talk about LeBron, I'm saying everything he do, nigga, no matter what, we gonna hold other players to that same thing.
Watch the N-word, bro. Watch the N-word.
All right, that's cool, but I don't want to hear none of that.
Okay.
The dude beside you talking about, I really hate when players get disrespected. Bro, nobody want to hear that, bro. All you do is disrespect LeBron. All you do is question LeBron.
How did I disrespect LeBron?
Bro, I'm just saying, bro. I'm saying, bro, we already know you a character, bro. I already showed you a character. I'm saying you have been on other shows, bro.
How did I disrespect LeBron?
You had nothing negative to say about LeBron. Bro,
how did I disrespect LeBron?
I didn't see you tell jokes about money.
How did I disrespect LeBron?
You a character, bro. You a character, bro.
How did I disrespect LeBron? Why is this so hard?
You know you're a character.
Why is this so hard?
How is other people disrespecting these players right now?
Go ahead, give the example. Let's just go through.
No. I'm saying how are players disrespecting players, right? No, I'm saying you give me an example. You don't want that. You sit up there saying because somebody said Kyrie wasn't a superstar. Bro, how you a superstar, boy, if you ain't never been to the playoffs?
I didn't say anything about Kyrie Irving.
But that's what's being said though. So follow the conversation.
I distinctly mentioned something about Kevin Love. Kevin Love is a Hall of Fame caliber player. Kevin Love has numbers to prove it. Kevin Love is a champion. Kevin Love is a rebound champ. Kevin Love is all NBA. Kevin Love.
You can't over-talk me. You can't over-talk me, bro, or trying to dodge what I'm saying, bro. It's not gonna help you, bro.
What are you talking about?
I asked you, was Kevin Love a superstar?
No, Kevin Love was not a superstar.
Okay, was Kyrie Irving?
Okay, now I answered your question. Now answer mine. What did I say negative about LeBron?
Hey, bro, I'm the guest. I'm saying, see, all that is to try to get me off my square, but I ain't getting off my square, bro. I'm focused. So was Kyrie Irving a superstar?
So Kyrie Irving wasn't in the league long enough to have been a superstar at that point.
I didn't ask you that, Bruce.
Superstar talent,
was he a superstar?
He was a superstar talent.
Bruce, Joe Johnson had superstar talent. What does that mean? I asked you, was he a super? You say, all
right, but let's look. Kyrie Irving was a superstar talent, and he was Rookie of the Year, right?
Was he a superstar, bro? I'm asking direct questions, bro.
Superstar talent. He hadn't been in the league long enough.
Bro, was he a superstar, bro? Hey, bro. Okay, and I'm saying for you to keep adding talent, and you can't just say yes or no, bro. You're answering my question, bro.
Well, very few players are superstars walking into the league, though.
So then, why are you letting dudes saying that they were superstars, bro? Like that's what I don't get. Like a person that was just on the phone with you, bro, like had a whole soliloquy explaining why he thought that Kyrie Irving was a superstar. Not one time, bro, did you stop or interrupt him and let him know, hey, I get what you're saying, bro, and them points could be right, but Kyrie Irving was never a superstar.
Well, wait. We can't say he was never a superstar. We could say he hadn't become a superstar at that time, but he was a superstar talent. And we can hold on. Hold on. The reason we can talk about
you niggas win, bro.
The reason we can talk about him being a superstar talent is because we know that if he wasn't, LeBron would have shipped him out of town too. We know that. That's the way LeBron moves. We know that.
Hey, Bruce, let me ask you something, bro. That makes sense what you just said to you, bro?
That makes sense, yes.
It makes sense to you that so why he didn't ship Kevin Love out of the building?
Because Kevin Love is superstar talent too. We saw the work he was doing in Minnesota. He was all NBA and he's a borderline Hall of Famer right now.
Hey, listen, bro. Hey, if I wasn't me, like all that what you're saying right now, it would work. But bro, we talking about superstar, bro. We're not talking about no talent. We're not talking about bro. Gilbert Arenas had superstar talent. Like what was he ever a superstar? Like bro, we're not talking about bro. To me, you saying that these dudes had superstar talent, bro. You're saying that to cover the fact that they wasn't superstars when they played with LeBron. You cannot be a superstar, bro, and you have never been to the playoffs, bro. See, that's y'all trying to, but see, y'all gotta do that, bro, because y'all gotta keep that narrative around that these were super teams.
No. Y'all are the ones that gotta keep the narratives, because what you have to do is downplay everybody else so you can say that LeBron carried bum players. That's what y'all do.
Now, watch how wrong you are. Ask me, was the Miami Heat a super team?
Oh my goodness! Look,
ask me, bro. Ask me, was the Miami Heat a super team, bro?
Anything, man. Listen.
So what I'm saying is that they was a super team, bro.
Listen, I got you.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm trying to be respectful. I'm trying to take your call.
You doing that same thing, bro. I can't believe you doing that, bro.
How about this?
Ahead,
How about this?
Go ahead, bro.
How about land the plane? I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm not going to argue with you. Land the plane, because we gotta get this show done, because Notre Dame about to play, man.
That's what I'm saying. All that's cool, Bruce. But I just heard old dude on the phone, and you was challenging everything he was saying, bro. You was talking big and bad, bro. You had your hoorah, everything about LeBron, and then I get on here for 2 minutes, bro. I have a disrespect. I ain't nothing. No, and now you gotta ship off, like that, bro. That's bro. You good, bro. You good, bro. I respect it, bro. I respect it, but I know one thing, two things for sure, bro. You would never ever, bro. That dude I can play right now. You would never give me that opportunity, bro. I cam up for you, bro. Because bro, you a world of narratives, bro. But all right, bro, that's a bit.
I appreciate the call, young disciple, man. Thank you for your passion, man.
I want to finish. Man, I want to finish this thing right here, bro. I swear to God, bro.
Bro, you about to crash out, bro.
All right. Last topic, y'all. Last topic. All right. Football. Back to football. Okay. New York Giants, New York City, largest, greatest media market in the world. Arguably the global media capital, financial capital too. New York Giants, Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, and the rookie Jackson Dart. Hi, Miss Dart. Anyway,
yeah, planting the seeds, bro. We're already started.
I just said hello to Miss Dart. You know, she might be watching.
Hello.
Yeah, how you doing, man? This is an interesting quarterback room, and I just wanted to bring this up as kind of the final topic on the way out, because, you know, we're hearing a lot about the great job Jackson Dart did in the postseason, and kind of, I guess the bigger question is, at what point this season is he going to play? Because Russell Wilson is still the projected starter, but the Giants have a real tough stretch to open up the season. So I don't know, Sneed, if you've had an opportunity as of yet to look at the Giants 2025 schedule.
Let's see it.
Which starts on Sunday. Where are we? Here we go. So, and I kind of want to get your feeling on, you know, when during this time would you start him, or would you leave him at third string? Because Jameis is still very capable in a backup role of coming in and being effective. So, so the Giants start with Washington, Dallas, Kansas City, Chargers, Saints, Eagles, Broncos, Eagles, Niners, Bears, Packers, Lions, Patriots, Washington, Minnesota, Raiders, and Dallas. That's a tough schedule.
Yeah,
that's a tough schedule. So I'm curious to know.
Their bye week?
Say again?
The bye week?
They have a bye week. Week 14 is their first bye.
Wow.
So
okay. They've got like the last week of buys, right? So
yeah.
So he doesn't get the benefit of coming in off the bye week.
No,
splitting it like down the middle or something like that.
So the first 6 weeks of the season, they only have one bad team, and that's New Orleans. So I'm wondering, like, maybe you sit Jackson Dart this year and really let him get that whole year of seasoning, because this is a tough schedule. And if he's going to be your future, you want him ready.
There's moments in seasons where he could come in.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on circumstances. So, for example, The first games, ideally, he doesn't play. The first month, even 2 months, ideally, he doesn't play. Because Jameis can come in and throw for 400 yards and 4 TDs. So, like, you don't have to feel like you're obligated to bring him in, over Jameis Winston. You can go with Winston over Wilson if Wilson implodes, if Wilson gets injured, if Wilson's bad, and you're losing games because of Wilson. Like if Russell Wilson is fumbling the ball or throwing picks and they're losing by 1 score, and it's like week 4 or week 5, then Jameis is the guy you're bringing in. You still want Jackson Dart to be sitting. You can have the conversation about the Niners, the Bears. Like that time is like what is that, like week 8, 9, 10? So yeah, like but you don't need to rush though.
That's what I'm thinking.
You have Jameis.
Wilson is healthy, as long as he's not throwing a ton of picks. You still have Jameis, who's an experienced guy, as your backup. So I don't think there's any rush to bring Jackson Dart in. As long as guys don't get hurt, I might consider sitting him the whole year. But
and that's okay. And that's okay because we've seen players sit an entire year, even though they were clearly the future of the team. Like that was the direction they were going to go.
I think the bigger problem is that Brian Daboll is probably looking to save his job. And so he's probably looking for some kind of spark, and maybe if he thinks that's Jackson Dart, he's going to put him in there.
Yeah. I mean, a guy like Jackson Dart coming in, college to pros, like the game's going to be so much faster. Jameis knows the game. I mean, and Jameis is mistake prone too. So like he's not a perfect player, but he went into Cleveland and won some games for them when they needed a guy to step in. Like these things happen.
Yeah, he loves playing in the snow.
They've constructed their roster in terms of the QB room to have contingency plans where they don't have to rush Jackson Dart in.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're in good shape with that. But again, I think it's a function of if Brian Daboll says, concerned about the job, maybe we need to make a splash. Let's bring the kid in and see what he's got. Hoping that they get a Bo Nix type situation from last year.
I mean, Bo Nix, that looks good over there.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out this year now that the tape's out, right?
Yeah. Now
know what he can or can't do.
But if you look at the developmental steps, it's kind of working out like the way that you would plan it to, right?
Agreed.
So New York's got to manage this situation appropriately. They don't have to take chances. How's the wide receivers looking? I know they have a clear number 1, and
Malik Neighbors, and they got my guy. I forgot his name. Played at Notre Dame last year.
But the upside for Russell Wilson as a starter is limited.
Bo Collins, and they say he's really surprising in camp.
Your upside with Russell Wilson as the starting quarterback is limited. Like there's only certain things he can do at this point in his career.
Yeah, agreed.
So like, I don't know, Bruce. You think they get a couple of wins in the first 2 months of the year? I mean, they're playing the Chiefs. They're playing the Commanders, Broncos, Eagles twice.
Yeah,
they play the Eagles twice in the same month.
That's tough, but that's how divisional games normally go like that.
Yeah, but the Eagles, they're good. Yeah.
The Chargers, they're gonna get punched in the mouth, but that actually could be a really good matchup, being as the Giants have a really good D line, Chargers have a really good O line. So Denver has one of the best defenses in the nation, in the league. Green Bay now has a legit pass rush threat.
This I wouldn't want to see him getting rushed in there. It's kind of the same situation that you see with Cleveland, right? Like you've got 2 rookies actually on the depth chart, and Joe Flacco is the starter until further notice. So I guess it's Russell Wilson. He's the starter until further notice. Something has to change, and it would take egregious play from Russell Wilson to bring in Jameis,
right?
But Dart would still be sitting behind Jameis.
Yeah, yes, he would.
And if Jameis was to get hurt or throw like 5 picks in the first half,
which is possible,
they probably bring in Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
They want to bring in the guy who ain't going to throw picks,
right?
At least for the first couple months of the year, So like. The conversations happening after week 10.
Yeah.
And the Giants are 2-8.
Yep.
3-7. You know, like that's when the conversations are being had.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I just wanted to kind of touch on that quickly and just bring that up because I do think it's an interesting QB room, an interesting situation. I'm not even sure if they have their depth charts sorted. Let's see what it's listed as right now as per ESPN.com. Okay, wow. So as per ESPN.com, the Giants quarterback depth chart has Jackson Dart second and Jameis Winston third.
I mean, that could just be penciled in, kind of like what you saw with the Browns during the preseason, where they had Shador last.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, and then they cut 2 guys. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. It doesn't mean too much to me. I think in a spot, you're bringing in Jameis.
Right.
You know, you're probably not. I mean, is Jackson Dart going to get any first team reps? I think Jameis is more likely to get first team reps.
You would think so.
Yeah, I don't know about this depth chart in terms of it's not set in stone or anything.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I.
Okay, so let's Okay, so Giants Commanders. What version of that game do you see Jackson Dart coming in?
I don't.
Okay, Chiefs Giants. Jameis would come in if anything was to happen. Like I see Jameis coming.
Like I think Jameis is better equipped to get into a shootout if need be.
Yeah, I don't see Jackson Dart getting into games until after week 10, week 12 maybe. And like after the bye week, like maybe it is the Jackson Dart show. Week 14, 15, 16. You know, but give him the last month.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the plan. Like pencil it in. Like this guy's gonna get the last month. He's gonna be playing in December. I know they wrap up the year against the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Vikings. Maybe those are his 3 games. You know, maybe the last month. Give him December. I mean, you don't need to see what Jameis can do in December, and you're probably not going to be in playoff contention given the way that this thing is going in that division
and that schedule.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So give him the last month. Give him the last 4 or 5 games.
All right, there you go. That's it. Give him the last 4 or 5 games. Him and Mrs. Dart, and we'll see how that goes.
Pan the camera, sir. Pan
the
camera.
Mrs. Dart and Megan McConnell sitting in the stand.
That's the first thing I thought of when you would transform a clown in that whole time, bro, during the NBA Finals. You guys are killing me, bro.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So we will leave it right there, y'all, just in time for me to go get ready and sit down because here come the Irish. So you guys have a great night. We appreciate you tuning in with us. Thank you for bearing with me. I know I was supposed to be on 10 o'clock this morning. I explained what happened, but I appreciate you all kicking it with us this afternoon. Thanks so much. Continue to support the show, like and subscribe, share the channel, share the SMT Media Network channel as well. If you're not subscribed to that, make sure you subscribe. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to the Be Ready Sports podcast if you haven't done that as well. We appreciate all you guys for being here. Thank you so much. We out.
Peace.